Orioles bats came alive early last night against the Red Sox. They would score 6 runs in the first 3 innings of the ballgame. Helped out by errors on the Red Sox and long balls by the Orioles. Meanwhile, on the mound, Jeremy Hellickson. 3 runs, 4 hits, 7 innings. Kevin Gausman goes. Can the Orioles win 3 in a row? Gausman hopes so, and so do the O's. It's the Orioles on Masson, and we welcome you back to Boston. Beautiful weather day for baseball. Afternoon, the variety. And the Orioles and the Red Sox in Game 2 with the O's looking to guarantee themselves a series win with the victory today. Hi, everybody. I'm Gary Thorne, and welcome. Strange ball game last night. Wonderful for the Orioles. Coming up with 16 runs in the game. You just never know in the American League East what you're going to see from game to game. Both of these teams have proved that over the course of this season. Last night for the Orioles, it started in the first inning, and it started with errors. Adam Jones would be the beneficiary of this one. Porcello knocked it down, but he threw it away into center field. Run would score, and the Orioles were on their way. In the second inning, they'd score 3 runs, highlighted by the leadoff homer. Mark Trumbo getting his 21st of the season. Not done yet. Moving on to the 5th inning. 7 runs, 7 hits, 2 errors in this inning, highlighted by a bases-loaded single. Seth Smith picked up 2 RBIs. That one really shut the barn door. And in the 7th inning, the triples man, Trey Mancini, got his 3rd of the year. He had 11 in 4 minor league seasons. We've decided that's why he wears Trey on the back of his jersey. It's not about his name. It's about the triples. Mike, they had a heck of a night.
They sure did. You know, the Orioles offense really starting to click on all cylinders. And you kind of sense that Trumbo and Chris Davis starting to come out of it a little bit. Mancini's out. And when this team starts rocking and rolling, wow, can they put some runs up in a hurry? They've done that. Machado and Scope certainly have been a huge factor here the last month, actually since the All-Star break. But I'll tell you what, taking advantage of the Red Sox miscues is huge for the Orioles. Now, this Red Sox team, and you talk about the unpredictability about the American League East, we're playing their best baseball. 16 wins since the end of July, and the Orioles taking advantage of those miscues by the Red Sox last night shows that anything can happen. And I think that game kind of lets the Orioles know that, hey, we still got a shot at this. I mean, everybody's kind of floundering around right now. Even the first-place Red Sox looked vulnerable last night.
We'll see whether or not they can rebound and whether or not the Orioles can just continue doing what they were doing last night, and that's scoring a lot of runs. A lot of Oriole fans on hand for this series. They were here last night. They'll be here this afternoon, and so will you when we come back. Orioles baseball on Masson is brought to you by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. Gorgeous day here in Boston last night. Oh, mercy. Look what happened last night. The Orioles 16 runs, the season high, 20 hits. That tied the season high, and their first back-to-back win since August 5 through 7. For the Red Sox, a season high 5 errors, 7 unearned runs were charged to Porcello. You got to go all the way back to May 5 of '96. Tim Wakefield, the last to be charged with anything close to that, 11 unearned runs, and those all came not on errors, but Wakefield and Knuckleballer were on pass balls.
Yeah, right.
The unearned runs, but I mean, last night was just unbelievable.
It sure was, you know, and the Red Sox, unfortunately, kind of trending down right now. Now, defensively, they've had struggles all season long. They're 13th in the American League with the 86 errors. And the Red Sox, the last 2 ball games they've played, 13 runs, 16 runs last night, 18 hits and 20 hits last night. A couple of their best starters, Chris Sale, of course, Porcello last night knocked out early, and the bullpen has just been abused here the last couple of ball games. The Orioles taking full advantage of those miscues last night. I think that's a huge lift to this Oriole offense, the ability to make those marks early in a ball game and to never let up. It was consistent offense the whole way through the ball game, finally stringing 2 wins together. I mean, 24 runs the Oriole offense has put up in the last 2 games. It is clicking for sure, averaging almost 6 runs per game since the All-Star break.
Now the question is, can they keep it going and win 3 in a row, which has been very hard for them to do? BGE Home, Baltimore's home team for heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical. Why would you call anyone else? It is a gorgeous day, 73 degrees. A few high clouds going by, humidity way down, lots of sunshine. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for the Orioles, brought to you by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. It'll be Beckham, Machado, and Scope, Jones, Mancini, and Davis, Trumbo, Joseph, Gentry, the start in right. 1,000 hits now on the record for Chris Davis. There you see his career numbers in homers and RBIs.
Yeah, pretty impressive stats right there. Take a look at Eduardo Rodriguez's pitch arsenal this season. Loves his 4-seam fastball, uses it 60% of the time, but the changeup is the pitch that I believe is going to come up big if he wants to have success against this Orioles offense. Try to find a way to keep them off balance, get some cheap outs. I mean, the Orioles going to be ready to hit the fastball. Rodriguez loves to challenge with the heater, especially the top of the zone. See the numbers on the year. Bone's sitting 231, the righties at 211. And the lefties up to 315. He's given up 13 home runs, but Rodriguez started the year off hot. And after a start against the Orioles back on June 1st, he went on the DL, had a bum knee. Seems like every year his knee acts up, and he has not been the same since. I mean, he's pitched a little bit better here recently. Man, his earned run average is about 5.6 since coming off the DL.
Yeah, last 8 ball games, 5.61 ERA for the left-hander, the former Oriole. So we'll see. The Orioles have done well against lefties after the first month of the season. They're now 21-19 against left-handed starters, and that is the 3rd best win percentage in the American League against left-handed starters. We'll see what they can do with them today. Tim Beckham will be leading it off. 4-game hit streak for Tim. He had a 1 for 6 in the ball game last night. Continues to put up the astronomical numbers for the Orioles since joining them. This will be game number 24. And he's had 5 home runs, 14 RBIs, and a 4.06 batting average since putting on an Orioles uniform. Pitch on the way. It is a strike, and we are underway in what officially is a day game. Shadows already affecting the play. They are just about halfway between the mound and the batter.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough ball game. I wouldn't be surprised if it stays low scoring, especially tough on the lefty matchup here for the Orioles. Coming out of the bright stands, always tough to take on a lefty here at Fenway Park in the daytime.
Beckham is .294 against both righties and lefties. Those are the season numbers for the Oriole leadoff batter. He's gone against Rodriguez in 4 ABs and is 1 for 4 against the Red Sox starter. He'll foul that one back into the screen. And unlike last night, where we had Porcello, a right-hander, working from the first base side of the rubber, we get Eduardo Rodriguez, the left-hander, working from the third base side.
Yeah, another extreme move right there.
Way over. He's got 1 foot. Look how far that foot that's not on the slab is off the side of the mound. Pitch on the way to Beckham. That's right there, and he got it.
Establishing the fastball early. Take a look at the Mercedes pitch cast here, and he's holding some pretty good velocity. 94 miles an hour. Works at the top of the zone, then paints the 94 on the outside corner. Not wasting any time. Just making sure, or just checking to see if hitters can pick up the heater here with the bright sun.
As a lot of old-time baseball pitching coaches say, keep throwing it till they hit it.
Yeah.
If they don't, then really keep on throwing it.
Yeah.
We'll see if he stays with that or not. Here is Manny, the red hot 3-game hit streak now, 3 for 5. Picked up in the ball game last night for Machado. Manny continues to climb the lists, offensive categories. He is now 5th in RBIs in the American League. Coming into the ball game, Jonathan Scope, the only Oriole ahead of him. Jonathan 2nd in the league in runs batted in. Manny will take the 94 mile-an-hour pitch away.
Manny has been eaten up, but all year long he's put up some impressive numbers against the Red Sox. 310, 6 home runs, 12 RBI. Last night, no different. 3 for 5. He has been crushing the Red Sox.
Rodriguez delivers to him, fouled away. He had coming into the ball game last night the most RBIs against the Red Sox on the season. He's now been passed by none other than Trey Mancini. Trey, with a 4 RBI ball game last night, has now picked up 13 RBIs against the Red Sox this year. So Manny 2nd in that category with 12. A 2-ball 1-strike count. Left-hander's pitch to him. Manny will take it. It'll miss a little bit low and away, and Manny will get ahead on the count 3-1. Over the past dozen games for Machado, he's had 7 home runs and 19 RBIs in the last 12 ball games. It's just gotten better and better since the All-Star break. In the air, left center field. High sky, a lot of glare. Uses the glove to cover up there, and Benintendi is playing center, puts it away.
Take a look at the Red Sox defense here. Young, Benintendi, and Betts in this Red Sox outfield. Jackie Bradley Jr. on the DL, so it's going to be moving around parts for a while. Bogarts and Nunez will be turning 2 up the middle. Devers and Moreland on the corners, and Vasquez doing the catching this afternoon.
Mitch Moreland, of course, pitched in the ball game last night as John Farrell did not want to go deeper into the pen. He worked an inning, gave up 2 hits, picked up a strikeout in the 9th inning. The closer at Mississippi State. He pitched in college and got another chance at it last night. 2nd time he's pitched in the major leagues. He did a good job. I was joking with John today. You might want to put him in the bullpen. John said if I could keep his bat going too, I might just do that.
I'm telling you, he looked pretty good, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
I mean, as much as you don't like to see position players, pitching games like that, at least his mechanics were sound, and it looked like he had a pretty good idea of what he was doing.
Yep. 2 down, nobody on. Jonathan Scope, a 6-game hit streak for Jonathan coming into this ball game. The big 4 for 5 in the game last night for Scope. Rodriguez delivery to him, lines that one to left field. It stays right up, and Young is there to put it away. So Rodriguez retires the side in order. The Orioles have got 2 in the first last night, none today.
I know, no kidding.
All right, let's take a look at the lineup for the Red Sox today. Very fortunate. Eduardo Nunez, who had to come out with the injury, is back in, able to play. Good news. Betts, Benintendi, Ramirez. You got Devers playing again at third. Tough night defensively for him. Bogarts, Moreland, Young, and Vasquez. Xander Bogaerts versus the Orioles. A big season underway for him.
And let's take a look at Kevin Gausman's pitch arsenal this season. Four-seam fastball has been a must. If Kevin Gausman wants to have success, he's got to be able to locate the fastball, move it around, and have command, especially glove side. It's been up and down for Kevin Gausman all year, but when he's on with that pitch, boy, does he have a dominant start. Opponent's hitting 300 on the year. Yeah, it was a slow start for Gausman for sure. 26 home runs. His last start gave up 4 home runs. Can he bounce back much like Hellickson did in his start last night?
So let's see what Caleb can do with it. He is 0 for 2. Gausman, rather, can do with it. 0 and 2 against the Red Sox this year. 3 and 6 lifetime. First ball hitting popped up. Nunez, second base. Scope. There's a quick one.
Good start there. Take a look at the Oriole defense behind Gausman, Mancini, Jones, and Gentry. Don't miss outfield. Gentry, a fine defender. Got a lot of room to cover out in right field here at Fenway Park. Beckham and Scope turning 2 up the middle with Machado and Davis on the corners. And Kebab, Caleb Joseph doing the catching this afternoon.
Chris Davis with a home run in the ball game last night. Like I said, looks like the veterans, long ball hitters, heating it up. Talking about Davis and Trumbo after the game. Gausman's delivery taken for a strike on the inside corner. Mookie Betts, 4-game hit streak, 1 for 4. Ball game last night. Big numbers off Gausman. He is 10 for 23 with 3 home runs. And he'll take the pitch down low for a ball. As we mentioned, exact opposite of last year for Betts against the Orioles. He's hitting only 196 with a home run and 6 RBIs this season against the O's. Breaking ball that will bounce. And the count, 2 ball, 1 strike count on Betts. So we come into this one. The Orioles 2 games below 500. They are still 3 games out of a wild card spot, and there are still 6 teams in front of them trying to get there in the American League. Red Sox 4.5 ahead in the East, and that's going to be a base hit. And it gets by Adam Jones. You don't see that very often. Adam misplayed the hop on that. He thought about catching it for a long time, and when he decided he couldn't, the ball was too close to knock down.
Yeah, he looked like he had a good line on this. This ball was smoked by Mookie Betts, center field, but Adam had an angle on it. Thought he was going to reach out there and try to take it away. Got a little tight on him. Couldn't get the glove extended. Leads him up, but I think Betts was going to have a double anyway. Adam Jones smiling about that one.
So it'll be a single and an error, at least for the moment, for Betts. The error charged to Adam Jones. Don't forget, last night there were 8 total errors. The Red Sox had 5, but the Orioles also had 3 in the ball game. It was a big night when it came to errors. See if that gets changed later in the ball game. I doubt it, because it gives Betts the hit streak and puts an error up on the board for the Orioles, which the Red Sox won't mind doing today.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? If Adam came up with that short hop, he probably would have held Betts there.
The outfield shifted a bit around to right now on Benintendi. Benintendi had an 0 for 4 last night. He had a hit streak ended. Benintendi will foul it back. He has faced Gausman 4 times and picked up 3 hits against him. As we mentioned last night, getting to see some outstanding rookies in Benintendi and Trey Mancini, 2 of the best offensive players among the rookies. Benintendi is 7th in average. He is 4th in home runs and 2nd in runs batted in among the rookies. And right either ahead of him or behind him is Trey Mancini. That's going to go to third, caught on the fly, and a runner back to second base. Playing in, able to catch it in the air.
Nice play there by Machado. And Kevin Gausman, talk about his wins and losses and the importance of the Gausman fastball. Take a look right here. Opponent's off the average fastball, or opponent average off Gausman's fastball. 254 in his 9 wins, 381 in his losses. The command playing a big part of it. And the first pitch strike percentage, 64.7% when he gets ahead with that first pitch strike. Now, granted, he's mixing in some other pitches to get ahead, but it's mostly the fastball. And when Kevin Gausman can command the fastball, he's as dominant a pitcher in the game. His secondary pitches are definitely playing up. He's using that splitty against the righties more frequently. It's all about the fastball for Gosman.
And Ramirez, who did not play in the ball game last night, he had struggled in the Cleveland series, back in today as the designated hitter. Got a runner on at second base. Ramirez, Orioles didn't mind him out of the lineup last night because he's had good numbers against the Orioles this year, hitting .265, but 4 home runs, 7 RBIs. Gosman's delivery will catch the inside corner for a strike. Ramirez just trying to get himself going. What's really been a problem of late are the strikeouts. I mean, they've piled up on him. He strikes out a lot anyway. It's been like 9 of the last 12 at bats.
Yeah, and how about that number there? Runners in scoring position, just 195.
Yeah, not good.
And he's supposed to be a big time producer.
1 ball, 1 strike count. Gosman will look back to second base. Ramirez will take that up high. The Red Sox last night went 0 for 6 with runners in scoring position. They did not get a lot of chances in the ball game. They stranded 7. The Orioles had a big 8 for 16 in those situations last night and still stranded 9. That's how many base runners the Orioles had in the ball game last night. 2-1 delivery by Gosman. Ramirez punches that one straight back.
Trying to get that fastball on the outside corner right there. Caleb Joseph saying right to the glove, please. He's had problems this year. That glove side fastball command. Last 2 have kind of leaked over back to that inner third. Got to force it out there. Great opportunity here to pitch away from Ramirez. Find out if you can get that fastball commanded on the glove side.
Ramirez had a 4-game hit streak, ended on Wednesday against Cleveland. Prior to that, he'd gone 5 for 16. 2 ball, 2 strike count. Runner off second base. Chops it. Boy, he had to really tomahawk that one. Davis will get an angle and gets it over to Gosman, and they record the out. No runs on 1 hit, 1 error, and a base runner left on. No score after 1. The name he wears on his jersey for this Players Weekend, but he's got a special name on that sleeve patch. He talked about it today.
Got my grandma here, Anna Brown. She was the matriarch of the family. She's watching down over me, and she's been guiding my career ever since. That's why when I tap my arm, my left arm 2 times on that home run.
So now you know why he does that on every home run.
Yeah, good stuff right there. I think every player has somebody in their heart that they'd like to tap their shoulder on, and Anna Brown, Adam Jones's.
Adam last night in the ball game ended up with a 2 for 5. He picked up RBI, also scored a run, 24 home runs, 64 RBIs on the season. He'll lead it off here against Rodriguez, Jones, Mancini, and Davis. That ball in the air, left center field. That's going to fall in. It'll find the gap. Benintendi going back to play it off the wall. 379 away. Adam goes in. First ball hitting and a leadoff double.
Boy, Adam Jones been red hot through the month of August. 20th double this season. Over 320 this month. 5 home runs. Continues to drive the baseball. This one smoked in the left center field gap, beating Benintendi to the wall. A walk into second base.
So the Orioles will get an opportunity to get a run in here with nobody out and a runner on at second. Adam Jones, Marlon Nunez at second base talking. Rodriguez now will face Trey Mancini. Big night for Trey last night. 3 for 5 and 4 RBIs in the game last night. And a swing and a miss on a heater from the left-hander. Trey up there among the leaders, still runners in scoring position, 360. That is 5th best. Mookie Betts is 1 in the league. Adam Jones is 3rd. Scope is 4th. Mancini is 5th, and Benintendi is 8th. So if you get some guys on base in this ball game, there's a pretty good chance they're going to come home.
Yeah, absolutely. How about the RBI trio? Only American League team with 3 players with 69 or more RBI. Scope, of course, monster RBI season. Manny Machado has been heating up and has been a machine since the beginning of July. And Trey Mancini, one of the best Oriole rookie campaigns we've seen. 75 career RBIs.
And he will foul that one away. Mancini's hit 260 off left-handers this year. 4 of his 22 home runs have come against the lefties. He's hitting 42 points higher against right-handers than he is against left-handers. Go figure. Because you got a guy on the mound, Rodriguez, whose numbers are exactly the opposite from what you would think they would be for a left-handed pitcher. 1 ball, 2 strike delivery. Rodriguez, the lefties hit 315 off him, and the right-handers hit 211. That's one of the largest disparities in numbers for any pitcher, much less a left-handed pitcher against left-handed hitter.
I know. Well, bizarre, right? And I think just because he loves his fastball so much, I mean, he really challenges lefties. They keep the front side in there, they get a chance.
They've taken advantage of it. Jones off second base. 2-2 delivery on the way, and just enough to foul that one off. And Trey will keep the at-bat alive. Mancini has had a home run, one of the 2 hits off Rodriguez. He's picked up a couple of hits and 8 at-bats against Rodriguez. Vasquez goes out to have a word with him. The Red Sox, over the past few seasons, they have led the league in catcher visits to the mound. Drives Buck Showalter crazy. They go out there sometimes late in ball games, seemingly every pitch.
Yeah.
To talk about what they're going to throw or getting signs straight.
A lot of times with the runner at second base, and it's back in the days when Varitek was the catcher.
Runner going, they got him. Throw to third to catch him in a rundown. Devers makes the toss. Adam Jones goes down. He's out of the baseline, so he's out. And on at first base, Trey Mancini on the fielder's choice.
Adam Jones getting a little bit greedy right here at second base, and Rodriguez with a fine play, helping himself defensively, giving it up quickly to third baseman. Bogart's getting Jones in the rundown. Sox making sure of that out right there, and taking advantage of a miscue on the bases.
So there's a big out early in the ball game. Replace the runner at second with a runner at first. And here is Chris Davis delivering the long ball in the game last night. In the 3rd inning, his 21st home run, solo shot. Ended up with a couple of RBIs in the ball game. Got another one later on a sac fly, and takes it for a ball.
Now Chris Davis, Mr. Crush, has been heating up. Last 10 games, 350 with 3 bombs and 9 RBI. Last night, that one to straightaway center field. And a couple hits for Crush in last night's ball game.
Runner on at first base, shift on at double play depth, so a lot of room in right field for a ball to fall in. Pitch will be taken down low for Chris against the left-handers. 245, actually better than his 217 against right-handers. We repeat, go figure. 2-0 count. Rodriguez a look over. Mancini's not going to be going anywhere. Pitch on the way to Davis will be up. Take a look at the shift. Statcast powered by AWS. Not as deep as it normally would be.
Now pulling him in, trying to get the double play on Crush Davis. As Devers, the third baseman, over filling up that hole in between first and second.
They leave Bogarts on the other side. Did that last night. He committed one of the 5 errors in the ball game. Chris will take that one at the knees for a strike. Thought he might have had a walk out of that, and didn't get the call. Chris has upped his average against left-handers. He hit only 216 against the lefties last year, so pretty significant improvement to get it up to 245. Home run wise, he's only had 3 of his 21 home runs against the left-handed pitcher. 3 ball, 1 strike count. Davis will foul that one back, riding down and in on him. Pretty good location, 3-2.
Now, real good 3-1 pitch, quality pitch. Working on that inside corner, but pretty healthy cut there. Chris Davis, pretty direct to the baseball.
Orioles have gone 10-12 now here in the month of August, while the Red Sox are 15-6. They've maintained their 4.5 game lead over the Yankees, who also lost last night in extra innings. Yankees are winning today 6-3 over Seattle in the 8th. And the pitch inside, and that will give him the walk. So the Orioles get runners on at first and second. Maryland Lottery contestant of the game, Chandel Monroe from Fort Washington. $500 for being selected, $500 more for every Orioles home run hit today. You can play Home Run Rich's scratch-offs. You can win up to $50,000 or enter non-winning tickets for a chance to be the contestant of the game. Visit ndlottery.com/home run. And good luck, Chandel. 2 on and only 1 out. The amazing things in the ball game last night with a 16-3 score. Red Sox pitchers surrendered 2 walks and the Orioles surrendered 1. Usually in a ball game like that you have a lot of walks, but not the case. Pitch taken for a strike. Mark Trumbo, the DH. Trumbo coming through the long ball in the game last night, 2 for 5. He's gone 2 for 17 against Rodriguez. Does have 1 home run against the Red Sox left-hander. Mancini off second base. Davis off first. Trumbo laces it. That's going to be a base hit into left field. Chased down by Young. That'll get a run in. They'll hold the runner at second base. So Trumbo comes through. Mancini scores. Orioles on the board, and they take a 1-0 lead.
Boy, that ball got through this infield quickly. Trumbo starting to square up more baseballs. Mancini on the board for the Orioles.
Trumbo's not coming alive right when the Orioles needed it.
Yeah, another high fastball. Trumbo's been getting on the high heaters lately. This one able to get the bad head out in front. Take a look, smoking it past the diving effort of Mr. Devers. Mancini. The score from second base for Trumbo.
57th RBI picked up by Mark Trumbo on the season. And another part of Trey Mancini's game. That is the 52nd run that he has scored for the Orioles this year. Davis stopped at second base. Still only 1 away. RBI chance. Caleb Joseph. Caleb will take the pitch for a strike on the outside corner. Caleb got in late in the game. Had an 0 for 1. He is 2 for 4 lifetime against a pitcher he has caught when in the Orioles organization. Rodriguez, the left-hander. Straight up defense against Caleb. Joseph will take the pitch outside.
Yeah, Rodriguez double A. Of course, Manny Machado, Jonathan Scope, Caleb Joseph. Traded away Andrew Miller.
Trade somebody good to try and win right now.
Yeah.
And a justifiable deal in that regard. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Joseph with a heater. That's at 93. Up a little bit. Couldn't get it. 1 and 2 on Caleb.
That's his game plan. Working above the belt with that fastball. A little extra life coming out of the lefty's hand there. Most fastballs tried true through the top of the zone. It's tough to get to, but today especially tough, I think, for the Oriole hitters because of the shadows and the brightness out in center field.
1 and 2. He'd like to get a strikeout here with only 1 away. Joseph, a foul ball off the mask of Vasquez.
A high fastball, the call.
Vasquez has been the regular catcher for Rodriguez this year. Catcher to catcher. No.
Squared up.
Caleb holds the count at 1 and 2. Nunez, second baseman, trying to hold the runner Davis a bit close and drops off on the delivery. 1-2 pitch on the way, and a swing and a miss again up, and the second strikeout for Rodriguez.
Just challenging the Oriole hitters right now with that fastball at the top of the zone, the upper third. So 3 heaters in a row. Get Caleb Joseph swing through.
The Caleb's head back to the second out on the K, and that'll bring up Gentry, who flied out to right field. Was playing right field rather in the ball game today. Gets the start for the Orioles. Did not appear in the ball game last night. Another right-handed bat in against the left-hander. Gentry, though, is hitting only .220 off the lefties, .263 off right-handers. 2 on, now 2 down. And that'll be up, and let's take a trip to the mound. The 2 starts this season against the Orioles for Eduardo Rodriguez. He is 1-1. He won his first start on April 23. Gave up no runs and just 1 hit in the 6 innings of that ball game. Red Sox went on to win it 6-2. Took a loss, though. The second start came on June 1st, and in that ball game he got touched up for 7 runs on 8 hits and 5 2/3 innings. So exact opposite starts for Rodriguez against the Orioles in those 2 games. In fact, in that second game, the most home runs he had allowed up to that point in the season. He gave up 4. And a 2-0 count on Craig Gentry.
Yeah, he came out of that game and went right on at the disabled list. His knee bothering him. Took about a month and a half off with the knee problem. Hasn't really bounced back yet.
Last 5 starts, he has had a no decision. Long time since he's had a win. That one's going to be popped back and out of play. The last win picked up by Eduardo Rodriguez, you got to go back to May 26 when he beat Seattle. Since then, he's had 8 starts, 2 losses, and 6 no decisions. 2-0, 1 strikeout. Davis wandering off second base. Trumbo off first. 2-1 with 2 down. Long look back at second each time, and he gets the outside corner with it. And evens the count up at 2-2.
Continues to just stay aggressive with the fastball. Running around right now. It's true. He'll go right to the top of the zone with the heater.
RBI single by Trumbo. The Orioles have a couple of hits and a walk here in the inning, taking the 1-0 lead. 2-2. And the pitch on the way. It's a Bermuda Triangle pop up. It's a base hit. It'll score a run. Somebody get in to cover second base. They do. And Gentry stays at first. But a single that finds a landing zone. Davis scores, and the Orioles have a 2-0 lead.
Boy, we saw this all last night. Oriole hitters falling behind with the 2 strikes and just finding a way to battle. This is a tough pitch, cutting in on the hands of Gentry. Takes it right off the knuckles. But gets it to nestle out in front of Benintendi. Look at the whole infield taking off, wanting this second out or third out. Not there. Chris Davis able to score. There's a couple on the board here in the second.
8th RBI for Gentry, and another visit to the mound. And you wonder, with all these visits, whether or not the Red Sox are worried about the physical condition of Rodriguez. The catcher's gone out a couple of times. Pitching coach makes his first appearance to the mound. He was out there a couple of times in the ball game last night, and fairly lengthy discussion with Rodriguez and Vasquez there.
I know there's still some concern about his knee, but take a look at the numbers. We've been talking about this through the end of May there, May 31st, 277 earned run average with 4 wins. And since then, had to go on the disabled list, made 8 starts, hasn't picked up a win in that earned run average. Boy, almost doubled, 5.61, and unable to pick up a win. And there's some concern about the health still, and he hasn't been bouncing off the mound too well.
Carl Willis out there, who had the talk with him. First and third, 2 away, and Tim Beckham at the plate. So the Orioles have batted around, and here in the 3rd inning, already going through their 2nd inning, going through the lineup for the 2nd time. Beckham called out on strikes his first time up. Tim gets the chance, hitting .406 in the month of August. Throw over, back to the bag is Gentry. Gentry is a threat to take off. He's got speed.
And I think with Gentry's speed, they ought to try to push the envelope, keep putting some pressure on Rodriguez, and especially this Red Sox defense.
Stolen bases, 2 for 5 with Rodriguez on the mound. Runner not going. Beckham will take the pitch away. Beckham has also delivered in these situations .299 with runners in scoring position, and that's his number overall on the season. A real fine number, and Beckham has, as we said, has driven in 14 runs as an Oriole in 23 games. He's got 50 RBIs overall in the year. 2-0 count. Rodriguez falling behind hitters and way outside with that one, and the count goes to 3-0. And you wonder if there's something about that follow through that's not there in this game and that he's losing early.
Well, he's been really aggressive with that fastball, and he's still sticking with the heater, but just all of a sudden lost command. Gentry scaring him out of the zone a little bit.
Trumbo off third base, Gentry off first. 3-0. Beckham will take in there for a strike. Don't let that go by unnoticed. That's a situation where you should take a pitch, and Beckham did.
Hey, you ought to take another one right here early in a ball game. The Red Sox bullpen has been used up the last couple of games. It's a part of the Oriole offensive philosophy today. Make Rodriguez work. Make him throw as many pitches as possible.
Orioles up 2-0 here with 2 runs in the inning. 3-ball, 1 strike delivery on the way. Beckham will go after it, fouls it off down the line. Talk about the bullpen of the Red Sox. John Farrell used Moreland last night. The reason the last 2 games, the one against Cleveland and the one last night against the Orioles, beating up in the pen.
I'm telling you, early exits by Chris Sale and Rick Porcello have led to serious overuse of this bullpen, and the bullpen's been pretty strong for the Red Sox. But when they get used like this, look at the numbers they have given up. The opponent batting average .458, .468 against the O's. The earned runs given up. Yeah, really taking some abuse. 7 different relievers being used, and used early in a ball game. Orioles looking to try to get in there again.
No personnel changes today for the Red Sox in that regard.
Yeah, that's a little surprising to me.
3-ball, 2-strike count with 2 away. I was talking to John Farrell before the ball game today, and I think one of the reasons for that, they don't feel as though they've really got people to call. And they've, going into the final month of the season, well, you don't like that to be the case.
No.
You really want some extra arms that you can bring up, and they will, I'm sure, in September. 3-2. Orioles covering first and third. Runner goes from first, and another one foul back. Gentry taken off on the delivery. 3-2 with 2 out. Rodriguez doing what we were just talking about, throwing a lot of pitches early. He's already up to 42, and that's a good sign for the Orioles. Rodriguez lifetime 3-4 against the O's, 4.37 earned run average. Orioles trying to get to a pitching staff that has been really good for the Red Sox at home. 3-2. He'll go again from first. Pitch on the way, and the 3rd time he's fouled one off on the right side.
Wow, doing it right now. Yeah, Swaggy T fouling off some tough pitches, fell behind, actually had advantage of the count. Then Rodriguez came back, got into it, now fouling off the last few pitches. Extending this AB, trying to wait out a mistake.
8th pitch of the at bat will be coming. Red Sox pitchers coming into this series last night. Their earned run average at home was 3.40, the best home ERA in the American League. The Red Sox gave up 16 runs on 20 hits last night. 3-2 again, and that one is going to be foul back. We'll get pitch number 9. Real battle here by Beckham.
It sure is. Borderline pitches. Last couple on that outside corner, and just playing spoiler right now. Frustration starting to mount for Rodriguez.
Gentry getting his running in at first base. He'll do it again. Manny waiting on deck. It's a long hold. 3-2 delivery on the way. Got it in the air left field. That's going to do it. Way back of the monster. Goodbye home run. But for the advertising sign, that would have cleared the ballpark. And Tim Beckham, in a great at bat, delivers the long homer. 3 RBIs off it, and the Orioles have a 5-0 lead.
Wow, that's about as good as you're going to see right there. What an AB by Tim Beckham. He continues to be productive with his bat. 18th home run of the season. Producing in a big way since putting on the Orioles jersey.
Just amazing what he has done with the Orioles. His 6th home run as an Oriole. He now has 17 Oriole RBIs in 24 games. And the Orioles jump out again. A 5-0 lead. All those runs coming here in this inning. Rodriguez surrendering his 14th home run of the year and a strike taken.
What an at bat Beckham worked here. 3-2 count, fouled off 4 or 5 pitches, and finally gets a cookie up middle, and he hammers it short to the baseball. Take a look at the swing here. Tim Beckham. A beautiful look as it soars up over the green monster. 3-run shot there for Tim Beckham.
Got it done, and the Orioles 5 runs, 4 hits, and the pitch by Rodriguez down low. A 9-pitch at bat by Beckham and a 3-2 count, and he delivered. And Shondell Monroe, our Maryland lottery contestant, that homer's worth $500. Congratulations. 2 ball, 1 strike pitch on the way, and that'll catch the outside corner. Manny up there, flied out his first time up. And the Orioles add to those 2-out RBIs they've picked up this year. They've been one of the leaders, if not on top, in that department. 3 of them this inning with 2 down. And the pitch up high, and Rodriguez all over the place. After that home run, I looked down at him, and he was talking to the dugout about something while Beckham was circling the bases. He was looking over into the dugout, and I don't know, I couldn't tell who he was talking to, and it wasn't a heated exchange or anything. 3-2 pitch on the way, and Manny with a big cut will go down swinging. So Rodriguez hits his 3rd strikeout, but the Orioles get the runs. Highlighted by Tim Beckham's 18th of the year. A 3-run shot coming with 2 down. Orioles up 5-0. And open up a 3-game series Monday. The Mariners will be in town, another team battling for the postseason. Game times for Monday and Tuesday are 7:05, and on Wednesday an afternoon matinee. Family and friends, bring them to the ballpark. 3:05 on Wednesday. Tickets start as low as $15. Get yours at Orioles.com or 888-848-BIRD. Well, Tim Beckham adding that home run. 3 of the 5 scored in the inning. The Red Sox now have given up 34 runs on 42 hits in the last 3 games, including this one, which is only in the 2nd inning.
That's a lot. And now we're talking about a team that had been playing their best baseball of the year, catapulting them into first place.
Devers puts the ball in the air, backing up Scope and Beckham. Scope.
Yeah, since July 31st, 16 wins, 16-5 record. And just like that, all of a sudden it seems like the wheels are starting to fall off a little bit. The Red Sox, about as much drama as any team going on. It seems like they've been battling it all season long. But man, they don't look like one of the top teams in baseball right now. The record here at Fenway Park, though, best in the American League. Man, oh man, Orioles not intimidated at all coming into Fenway Park.
Orioles lead the season series now 8-6 against Boston. Here is Bogart's 4-game hit streak. He extended it with a 1-for-4 in the ball game last night. Bogarts against Kevin Gausman has gone 8-for-29 in his career. Pitch outside. Talking with Jeremy Hellickson after the ball game last night, when you get a big lead as the Orioles did, is it tougher for you to stay focused in a game like that when you're pitching? And he said no. And he thought about it. He said no, because I do what I was going to do anyway. I stay with what we had planned to use in the game. And so long as you do that, don't mess that up. Don't start fooling around with it. He said, then you're fine.
Yeah. You kind of have to have blinders on, I would think, in that starting position. You got to stick to the game plan and execute throughout.
Especially when the runs are scored early and there's a long way to go in the ball game. Foul back and out of play by Bogarts.
Yeah, and especially against this Red Sox team. You know, their offense can put up runs just as quick as anybody. They're not as productive home run wise. A lot of hitters that know how to get on base, hit the gaps as well.
Delivery on the way by Gausman. We were talking about that last night. You talk about a drop off in power. Last year, the Red Sox are #1 in slugging. They are 13th this year. Last year they had 5 players with 20 or more home runs. Right now they have none. Ball hit high in the air, not deep, down the line and left. And who's going to get there? Fair territory, and took it around his neck. What a play by Beckham. Beckham was looking for help from Mancini, but Mancini was so far over in the gap he couldn't get there. He ended up catching that, I think, around the neck of Mancini.
Yeah, Beckham checking for Machado. And you see Trey hustling on in. Yeah, he was flying from the outfield, but obviously didn't say anything. And a nice job by Beckham, just taking charge, making sure he comes down with an out. That's a big out there. Take a look. Machado was in there. Mancini coming in. Nobody calling it, but Swaggy T, that 3-run shot, taking charge.
Swaggy T. 2 down. Here is Moreland, sometimes first baseman, always ready to pitch. 0-1 count on him. Moreland ended up offensively with an 0-for-3 in the ball game last night. 0-1 delivery on the way, and that'll be foul back. The errors, 5 of them last night, the most they've committed in a game since 2001. Their 86 errors this year is the 5th most in all of baseball, 3rd most in the American League. And already they've committed 10 more errors than they committed all of last year. And what makes the errors so costly, of course, are the unearned runs. Pitch on the way, drilled toward the green monster. Is there room to make the catch? There is, and Mancini's got it. And a 1-2-3 inning. Gausman a clean inning after the Red Sox fell behind 5-0. Just what he wanted. Orioles baseball on Masson is brought to you by PNC Bank, for the achiever in you, and by John Hopkins Orthopedics, serving the community for over 125 years. Gary Thorne and Mike Bordick here at Fenway. Glorious afternoon weather-wise, and so far the same for the Oriole fans and their O's. 5 runs, 4 hits, and error for the Orioles. The Red Sox, no runs on 1 hit. Jeremy Hellickson held them down to 1 hit through the first 4 innings of the ball game last night. And the Orioles will bat here after a 1-2-3 inning by Kevin Gausman. Jonathan Scope will stand in. The only Oriole who did not hit in the 2nd inning. Goes after the first pitch, a breaking ball, down and away. Scope flied out. His first time up. Jonathan continues to climb the leaderboards. He is 5th in average, 2nd in RBIs, 8th in runs, and 5th in hits in the American League. What a season. And the pitch will be taken down low.
Yeah, impressive the consistency, on this year for Jonathan Scope. What that number, 40 RBI since the All-Star break to lead the American League.
Rodriguez trying to settle it in after the 5-run 4-hit inning. Down to third, knocked down. That's going to be an infield hit. Scope will beat it out easily. Jonathan on, as that one was really stung right down the third baseline. And did Devers twist an ankle on this?
I think he may have on the throw. You see the tough play right there. Listen, this Fenway infield playing a little bit rough right now. It is fast. A couple little hops in there. That one kicks back on him. And I think as he threw to trying to get Jonathan Scope, he may have twisted that front ankle.
He got up limping and still trying to put some weight on that. Red Sox right now, you see him twisting that ankle.
Yeah.
Red Sox going through and some injuries. Jackie Bradley Jr., as we said, of course, out of there. Dustin Pedroia remains on the DL. Nunez had to come out after only 1 at bat last night on a collision play at second base. So the Orioles get the leadoff man on. Here's Adam Jones. Adam, a double his first time up, will take the pitch away for a ball. Orioles already with 5 hits in the ball game against Rodriguez. Double play depth, big hole going the other way. And Adam has had a lot of hits here since the All-Star break, in particular going to right field. They're playing him, Nunez, the second baseman, almost behind the bag. Big cut on the 86-mile-an-hour delivery, 1-1.
Yeah, firmer change right there. Rodriguez likes his change up. It is a little firmer, though. You saw that one 86 miles an hour, but he turns it over. Gets a little 2-seam action on it. It's a lot of ground ball work with that pitch. Nice location on the outside corner to Jones.
Rodriguez 4-3 on the year. Limited starts with the injury. This is his 19th appearance. Adam just under that one, popped it up. He flips the bat away. He was that close to driving it. Bogarts, the shortstop, comes over and gets it. Back to first base goes Jonathan Scope. Last Saturday, the Orioles wore special 92 throwback uniforms to honor the 25th anniversary of Oriole Park. You can go to Orioles.com/auctions to bid on these autographed, authenticated, game-worn jerseys and caps. Members of the 92 team have autographed them. All proceeds benefit the Orioles Charitable Foundation. The bidding will close tomorrow at 10 p.m. That's Orioles.com/auctions. Trey Mancini hit into a fielder's choice first time up, would come around to score later in the inning, and will foul that one straight back. The Orioles with the home run in this ball game. They have now hit 18 home runs in the last 8 games and 43 in the last 20. Mercy.
Yeah, this Oriole offense really picking it up. Consistently driving the baseball. Coach Scott Goulbaugh has the bulk of this lineup in a good place.
Trey Mancini, Mr. Triple.
Yeah, about his year. 3 triples leading this team. Driving one last night. Mookie Betts almost came down with a great play. Mancini, triples come from hustle. You got to be running hard out of the box. Mancini, full speed player.
3 of them this year. His first triples at the major league level coming this season. 1 ball, 1 strike count on him. Mancini tried to dig one out of the dirt on that one. And the count will go to 1-2 as Rodriguez got that one skimming off the plate.
Yeah, turned over the change again. 7 right there, fooling Trey Mancini.
Saw a note today that Trey's RBI numbers, and Mancini keeps adding them up. He's got 69 now. Set a new record for the Orioles in RBIs for the first 118 games, and continues to add to that, and gets him on the outside corner. Rodriguez has got 4 strikeouts. Mancini the second out of the inning.
Rodriguez pitched Mancini tough here. Fastball away, it'll change up, and how about the cutter coming back on the outside corner? Borderline pitch right there. Rodriguez needs a little extra help. See Vasquez kind of sucking it back in on the plate. Get the call.
So 2 away. Full shift on against Chris Davis. Davis threw a walk and scored. First time up. Only walk surrendered by Rodriguez so far. Right into the shift. Right to Nunez. And he will record the out. So the Orioles still runs on 1 hit, no errors. 1 left on. We go to the bottom of the 3rd at Fenway. 5-0 O's. Achiever in you.
Now let's take a look at David Hess last night, continuing his strong second half down in Double-A Bowie. 8 innings pitched, just 1 hit. What the month of August he's featured 5 starts, 3-1 record with a .218. And Mr. Hess just getting better and better as the year progresses. Challenged last year in Double-A, revisiting Double-A again this year, and has a monster season going. 11 wins with a .391 on the year, pitching to a .323 in the second half. He is eligible for this year's Rule 5 draft, unless, of course, the Orioles put him on the roster. Keep him protected.
Interesting call-ups to be made in September, and see who the names are going to be. Try and help the Orioles, who will be in a race for a wild card spot. 3 out right now, as we said, 6 teams in front of them. That ball was in on him. Popped Caleb Joseph back. And we'll run out of room. That one took a hop, second row, and then back to the first. Chris Young leading it off here in the 3rd inning for the Red Sox. Young had a 2 for 4 in the ball game last night. He was the DH last night, getting the start in left field in this game, his 31st start in left field for the Red Sox. Vasquez and then Nunez at the top of the order against Kevin Gausman. No walks, no strikeouts so far, and only 1 hit, a single by Betts. They'll get that pitch in there for a strike.
A good fastball there, 95 miles an hour, down and away. He makes some good pitches against Chris Young. You mentioned a couple hits last night, but he has been nemesis against the Orioles. Hit .412 over his last 17 games against the O's.
Gausman taking a moment to regroup, and a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Right-hander's delivery and a breaking ball Thought about going after it. Lets it go. It'll miss outside. Big improvement for Kevin. You saw from the first half, second half. 4.02 ERA in the second half, down from 5.85. That's a big change. That one whistled into the Oriole dugout. That one, they've caught him a little off guard down there at the end of the bench.
Huh.
May have gone through the screen somehow.
Oh, Joe Hogarty, Oriole strength coach, catching one. Catching it on the side of the head.
Yeah. That ball again, whip foul. Shaying up into the seats. So Cy Young, the nickname on the jersey. Players Weekend continues all weekend long, with the players having put their nicknames or whatever they wish to on the back, and then patches that change. And that one's going to be inside. Did not go around them. So the ever dangerous leadoff walk, first surrendered by Kevin Gausman in the ball game, who is 5th high in walks in the American League.
How about on the road this year for the Orioles before the All-Star break? Ooh, no bueno. 17-30. Orioles offense was down a little bit. Was in scoring position, down. Starters earned run average up 6.91. Are you kidding me? Almost 7 runs. How do you expect to have a good record? Well, since the All-Star break, the Orioles pitchers have been much better. 4, 5, 6. That's led to some confidence with the offense, averaging close to 6 runs per game. There's a scoring position up a little bit. Of course, the record still below 500, but I'll tell you what, trending up, and good things will happen. They stay consistent in that starting pitching regard.
Facing Vasquez now, one of the hottest hitters in the month of August in the majors. Sitting .412 in his last 17 games going back to July 29. He and Leone share the catching duties, and as we mentioned last night, John Farrell was asked why not put Vasquez in more games since he's so hot at the plate, and take Leone out of a few. And John said he'd rather keep the combinations, the battery combinations he's used all year going. Pitcher catchers have worked together, and Rodriguez has been throwing to Vasquez, so that's why he's playing. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Pitch on the way, and that's going to be taken up high. Porcello, on the other hand, who pitched last night, has thrown this season to Leone, so that's why he played last time.
Yeah, and Leone, one of the best catching earned run averages. So knows how to call the game, keep it down there. It's right around 3-3. Of course, this rotation, the starting rotation and the bullpen, pretty impressive earned run averages.
And an off-speed delivery, good one. Fooled him, looking fastball, and way out in front of it on the swing. And a 2 ball, 2 strike count from Kevin Gausman.
That's been a big change the second half for Kevin Gausman, throwing that split change to the right-handers more frequently. He basically would save that for the lefties as it would sink away from the left-hander, and typically his numbers a little bit better in that regard. But this year, or second half anyway, secondary pitches.
Got him on a pitch down and away. Number 1 strikeout for Kevin Gausman.
On another changeup. Kevin Gausman back-to-back changeups here. On the bottom of the zone, over the plate. That is a key if you want to get some swing and misses. Started on the plate, he does there.
So that'll bring up Nunez. Leadoff batter, popped out his first time up. Came out of the ball game with the left wrist thumb area sprained. X-rayed it, no damage. Felt okay today, so back in the lineup. Runner still on at first base. That'll catch the inside corner for a strike. And you see how many off-speed pitches Kevin, like Hellickson, uses to start a hitter off.
Yeah, it's good to see. You know, confidence in those secondary pitches, huge for Gausman. He can steal some early strikes and get in there and hope that fastball.
In the air, right field, long run. Will it stay fair? It does not. Gentry, and no chance to get over there and make a play on it. Right field is a very tough position to play here. The outfield's tough at Fenway Park. In right field, you've got all that room. It goes back to the 380 mark, keeps dropping as you come away from the pesky pole and go around towards center. And then you've got center field with that 420-foot well that's out there. So you got a lot of ground to cover. And then in left field, you got the monster.
Yeah.
So each of the positions in the outfield is difficult to play here, and you really have to go out and work at it. if you're going to play it for the Red Sox and visiting teams, as the Orioles did yesterday, their outfielders go out and take some fly balls and balls off the wall and in the corner just to see how they're going to be played. And Kirby did a lot of fungo hitting yesterday from second base out towards the wall in left field for Trey Mancini to have a chance to play some off the wall.
Yeah, just get some reads how it's going to bounce, and you know, primarily though, you're a little protected with the Green Monster there. Of course, the off outfielder come over, back up. The shortstop can always go out there and help out as well.
That ball gets away. Throw goes down to second, and the runner will get there. So the strikeout recorded to Nunez with first base occupied. He's out of there. And down to second base on the wild pitch goes Young. That'll be the 7th wild pitch of the year for Gausman. Also his second strikeout of the ballgame.
Let's take a look at the pitch. Another split finger down in the dirt. Well done on the plate. Doesn't get the favorable kick. Caleb Joseph quite harnessed that one. Kicks away. Yeah, Mr. Young hustling into scoring position.
And Mookie Betts, #1 average in the American League with runners in scoring position, stands in. Base hit his first time up. Pitch will be taken for a strike. Betts continues to play with a bad knee that'll probably trouble him for the rest of the year, but with under 35 games left to go, they need him in the lineup. Hitting .381 in these situations. Runner off second, big lead. Betts will take the pitch inside. Mookie with the base hit is first. Mookie. Betts with the base hit is now 11 for 24 lifetime against Gausman. And he also has extended his hit streak to 5 games. Big lead at second. They don't try and hold him. They want to get the batter out here. So the infield will stay positioned. Pitch taken away.
Gausman is just pumping the changeups in there right now. I mean, not afraid to double up. He's tripled up with it as well. Back to back. Here are the Betts.
Outfield deep. Little breeze blowing from left to right, but not much. Another breaking ball. That's going to miss down low. So a 3-ball 1-strike count on Betts. Benintendi, left-handed batter, waiting on deck. Hasn't mattered much for Kevin lefty righties. 294 left-handers, 304 right-handers, and the home runs have been spread out with 14 hit by right-handers and 12 by lefties. So bring them on. 3-1 delivery on the way, and he'll work that inside. So he's had 2 strikeouts and 2 walks in the inning. Just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller time later in our ball game today, brought to you by Miller Lite. Well, this is a big at bat. Red Sox got a chance, trailing 5-0, to get back into this game if Benintendi can deliver. And they're asking Benintendi to find a 2-out RBI or 2. He lined out to third base first time up. Machado had been playing in closer than he is now, and Benintendi's line drive ended up right where it would normally have been a 1-hop to the third baseman, ended up being caught.
Yeah, it was played by Manny Machado, and Benintendi, he does play favorable to right-handers for his home runs. And out of his 18 home runs, 17 going against righties. That's when he's got to execute his pitches.
Benintendi with a homer cut. Swings through that one, 94 miles an hour, and a 1-ball 1-strike count. Benintendi's had an excellent August, hitting .333 and 6 home runs in the month of August. Where the Red Sox hitters, a number of them have hit well over 300 this month. 1-ball 1-strike delivery by Gausman. That'll be taken up high for a ball. Benintendi against the Orioles this year, hitting .292. He's had a couple of home runs, 7 RBIs against the O's. But Jackie Bradley Jr. out. He gets the start in center, his 21st start in center field this year. 2-1 pitch. Gausman evens it up 2-2.
Still having a hard time with that glove side fastball command. Another one leaking out over. Get these lefties honest and drive that fastball in. Nothing else, just brush them off the plate a little bit. feel a little bit uncomfortable. And they are staying in there. Pretty good fastball velocity.
Young off second base, Betts off first. Benintendi will go down swinging. So Kevin Gausman ends up striking out the side with a couple of walks interspersed. No runs, no hits, no errors. 2 are left on base. Orioles lead it 5-0. Fourth inning of Orioles baseball is brought to you by the all-wheel drive RAV4. Toyota, what drives you? Visit buyatoyota.com for great deals. Gary Thorne and Mike Bordick here at Fenway. The Orioles with the 5-0 lead, top of the fourth inning. Players weekend as they selected the name to be worn on the back of their jerseys. Patches yesterday and today. 2 different patches for many of the players. Interesting note on Brett Gardner. Gardner did not want to participate, the Yankee outfielder. Said I just don't want to. Said I want to do what I normally do, wear my pinstripes, no name on the back. And Major League Baseball, according to the stories I read today in the New York papers, Major League Baseball said no, you got to put something on the back of the jersey. Because remember, the Yankees don't put their names on the jerseys regularly. So he put his name on it, just his name, Gardner. And I wondered last night, since the Yankees have never had names on their jerseys, is that the first player in Yankee history? And so-called PR department of the Yankees today, Kristen, Orioles PR, and I got on the phone with Jason of the Yankees, and he is the first player to have his name on the Yankee pinstripe jersey in the history of the team.
Wow.
Ooh. And Bird is the second, because Bird is going to wear his name on the back of the jersey today. And all the Yankee coaches, manager Girardi and coaches, also put their names on the jersey. But he'll go down in history now as the first player to have his name, his real name, on the back of the Yankee jersey. Wow. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Little piece of knowledge that'll get you absolutely nowhere when you want a cup of coffee. However, you could bet somebody on that, I guess. Ground ball going to go towards second base. Could be a base hit. Yes, at least for the moment. Mark Trumbo on an infield single. Nunez was playing way back and over towards second base. John Farrell asking for a hold up here to take a look at the video.
Yeah, tough play by Nunez. Rodriguez not moving around too well on the mound. Nice effort though, getting rid of it from down under, right where he fielded the baseball. Trumbo sniffing out the base hit, making it bang bang.
I think he got it. No challenge. And I think appropriately so. So the Orioles get a leadoff single from Mark Trumbo, who's now 2 for 2 in the ball game. And there again, the defense playing so deep prevented Nunez being able to get that ball over there in time. Caleb Joseph, strikeout victim, his first time up. Orioles have now had the leadoff man on 3 consecutive innings. Shows bunt. Rodriguez retires a high 73% of leadoff batters. So the Orioles confounding those numbers by getting the leadoff man on 3 out of the 4 innings. 1-0 count. Trumbo the short lead at first. Devers in at third. Not showing bunt there. Off speed pitch down and away.
A good location from Rodriguez and away from Caleb Joseph. Inviting spot though. Big hole opened up with Trumbo at first base. Nunez pulled way over to the middle. Should be shooting his sights to right field.
1 ball, 1 strike. Rodriguez. Caleb fouls it back. How about this? Now this is Caleb's idea. It was supposed to be the K with a hyphen in it. Instead it came out kebab. So today he said, I'm going to get next to Wellington. And if you take a picture of both our jerseys and put them together, what do you get? Beef kebab. I love it.
Oh,
I was laughing so hard. Caleb and I were laughing so hard in the clubhouse today before the game. Swing and a miss, and got him again. So Kebab goes down as the 5th strikeout victim for Rodriguez with a runner on.
Yeah, Rodriguez changeup right there. Gearing up for the fastball. He's able to turn it over. Only 86 miles an hour at the bottom of the zone. And Caleb out in front.
Joseph retired, 1 down. That'll bring Gentry up. RBI base hit and a run scored for Craig Gentry in his first at bat. Rodriguez delivery to him. Then I thought, well, if we could get Wellington's first name on a jersey and put it all together, we'd have a Wellington beef kebab.
Oh my.
I'm so happy they're doing this Players Weekend.
Got to make the most of it, right?
Make the most of it. Oh my Lord. 0-1 delivery. And I'm sure Wellington's going to hear about that because Caleb did that. He said, I'm not telling Wellington. I'm not going to tell him I'm going to do this. We're just going to get the shots done and then I'll show him after the game. So Wellington, you're in for a surprise.
There you go.
0-2 the count on Craig Gentry. 1 down. Trumbo on with the infield hit at first base. Long holds by Rodriguez. Fouled straight back. He really challenges hitters to stay in or not. Because he almost holds it right to that point where the batter's frozen.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you want to call a timeout, but he gets rid of it just in the nick of time not to get a timeout call.
Yeah, trying to lull the hitter to sleep a little bit, maybe distract him. Mentally, you try to lock in for as long as possible. Those long holds, though, kind of break your rhythm a little bit.
0-2 the count. Gentry waiting on the left-hander. Ground ball towards second base. Nunez, little flip. And gets the out at first on Bogart's arm. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left on base as the double play eliminates the leadoff base hit the Orioles got.
Take a look here. Nice touch by Nunez. Tough play as the traffic's tight there at second base.
And there'll be no challenge on this one. He got it there in time. The Orioles have the 5-0 lead, trying to take game 2 as they did game 1. Ball break brought to you by T-Mobile. We turn to our Major League Notebook from Sports Illustrated. Are they the best baseball team ever? This year's Los Angeles Dodgers. The article talking about Clayton Kershaw and the DL back strain. Dodgers have gone 23-5 without one of the game's best pitchers. They have not dipped below 100% probability to make the playoffs since June 26. They have allowed the fewest runs and scored the 6th most. They went 51-9 from June 7 through August 18, the best 60-game stretch in 105 years of Major League Baseball. Are they the best ever? Question remains to be answered, and will depend in part on how far they can go in the playoffs.
Yeah, but they've been pretty impressive. You know,
Amazing.
I mean, every aspect of the game have just been outstanding.
Hanley Ramirez leading it off, clean off spot. He grounded out his first time up. Bottom half of the 4th inning, 5-6-1 for the Orioles. 1-0 for Boston. This game looks so much like last night. As the Red Sox was not able to pick up hits. Ramirez not happy with the call on the pitch away. One single, second batter of the game for the Red Sox. Betts, the only hit surrendered by Gosman. Ramirez just shaking his head over the last call.
Yeah. Kevin Gosman working pretty well right now. Moving the fastball around. Featuring the changeup, though. It's been the big pitch for him.
Got him. That one was there. No argument about that. And that will be strikeout number 4 for Gosman.
Yeah, there it is. If he can locate consistently on that outside corner, especially here, down and away, 96 miles an hour. Good luck hitting that. That nice group of pitches by Kevin Gosman. Great location, all 4.
So Kevin has struck out 4 of the last 6 Red Sox batters he's faced. Devers will take the pitch. It'll be inside, a little bit low. The left-hander popped out his first time up, getting his first look at the Orioles in this series. Did not play against them in the other games. Wild swing and a miss on an off-speed delivery, 1-1.
Yeah. Nasty changeup by Gosman.
I mean, Andy Scout watching this game, watching Hellickson last night and Gosman tonight. How do you pitch the Red Sox?
Oh yeah,
changeups.
Absolutely.
I mean, they really struggle. Just you keep them off balance with a changeup, a split finger, a breaking ball, off speed. And the Red Sox have struggled for a couple of games here. 2 ball, 1 strike count. How's that one? Souvenir.
Hey, I got a question for you. You know, we were talking about the Dodgers. You know, you mentioned Clayton Kershaw on the DL, and the Dodgers gone 23-5 since then. If they had Kershaw, would they be undefeated? You think? Would he have gotten the 5 wins instead of those losses?
See, that's a good question. That one's going to be near the warning track. Trey Mancini's got it. Evers is retired. I don't know who took the losses, but you figure he would have made those starts somewhere along the way in there.
Right.
Maybe they would have gone undefeated. That would have answered the question right there.
Yeah.
Then it wouldn't be a question, just the greatest team ever. It'll be interesting to see. We've seen teams with great regular seasons end up going in the first round of the playoffs in any sport. I've always thought is the most dangerous. It's the team that has nothing to lose against the team that's got to win.
Yeah, it sure is. But you know, the baseball playoffs, like any sports playoffs, boy, if a team gets hot, they can make a run. I don't care who you are playing against the best team. You know, I was fortunate enough to play with the '97 Orioles. In my mind, I thought we were the best team in baseball that year, hands down. I mean, we had depth, strong offense, great pitching, great bullpen. Randy Myers on the back end closing it out. He had more saves than anybody in the American League at that time. So, you know, we played the Indians, and one of our pitchers was tipping pitches at the end. And that's how we ended up losing that series.
Wow.
So you just never know.
Strikeout there. Another clean inning. Gosman's got 5 Ks in the ballgame, 2 in this inning, 3 in the 3rd. To the page, the state in baseball history, a name not much mentioned, but in 1947, Dan Bankhead became the first major league black pitcher. 27-year-old right-hander. Didn't do very well on the mound, but the rookie hit his only big league home run in his first major league at bat in 1947. And in '62, the Orioles completed a 5-game sweep of the Yankees. Robin Roberts, who'd been released by the Yankees during the first week of the season, beat Whitey Ford at Memorial Stadium by a score of 2-1 in that ball game. And speaking of Bankhead, he would play in 52 major league games over a 3-year span. And I don't know why the name doesn't get mentioned more often. That's when, of course, they were playing in Brooklyn. It's a pretty significant development for the integration of baseball. 5-0 lead for the Orioles. Tim Beckham, big 3-run homer. Number 18 on the season for him. He has also struck out, now has a 5-game hit streak with that home run. Hitting .295, 18 homers, 53 RBIs.
Yeah, that home run a little bit sweeter for Tim Beckham. Saw 9 pitches. He fouled off 4 pitches before hitting that bomb over the Green Monster.
He'll take a swing and a pitch away. Rodriguez, for all the problems, much like Porcello in the game last night, remaining in, throwing a lot of pitches, up to 77. Orioles have had somebody on second, third, and fourth innings. He retired the side in order in the first. Beckham waiting on a 1-2. And he'll take that one up high.
Critical inning here for Rodriguez. The Orioles can continue to put some pressure on him. I'd be surprised to get some bullpen activity. The last couple innings, though, he's pitched pretty well to settle in, mixing in more change-ups.
He's got a walk and 5 strikeouts. Shortstop, Bogart circles. Flip throw. Nice job at first base by Moreland. Moreland able to tiptoe over the bag, make the catch, and avoid the runner all at the same time.
Yeah, pretty impressive. He can do it all, right? Bogart's coming in, making the running throw from shortstop. You see Moreland, fancy footwork, taking it on the backside of the base. You don't see a lot of first basemen do that, but the good ones can. Understanding how high they have to get, the apex of that ball right there pulls him to the back. He's able to keep his toe on the base and get that first out. Nice play by Moreland.
So that's what first baseman, the good ones, and Chris Davis, Moreland, 2 of them, save their infield errors.
Yeah, big time play there.
1 down. Here's Manny. Machado 0 for 2 is flied out, struck out. Manny with a 3-game hit streak. Pumping in the RBIs. And that one is going to be taken down low for a ball. Infield pretty much straight up on him, in the outfield deep. 1-0 delivery. Machado will take that one down low. 6 for 24. Lifetime off Rodriguez for Manny. Manny, too, moving up the charts with the numbers, with the 5th best RBI production in the American League coming into today's play. 2-0 delivery on the way to him. Manny will pop that one up. First base Moreland over, and that one will be out of play. Mr. Miami, the name he has chosen for the player weekend. How come?
It was either between Mr. Miami or El Ministro, what they were calling me during the classic, and you know, I just want to do something to represent home.
Yeah, from Miami, why not, Mr. Miami? Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Mr. Baltimore right now.
Yeah.
Especially after the last couple months of production he's had.
2-1 delivery on the way. Just holds his head up after he fouls it back. That was one to drive. He knew it, wanted it, and he says foul ball. How could that have been a foul ball? Should have been a home run.
Yeah, Manny's numbers have just been unbelievable last couple months. Serious production. By the end of this season, Manny's numbers may be better than he's ever had.
Manny, a little chopper. Left-hander's throw, soft toss over to get him, and there are 2 away. Well, an annual fan favorite returns. The 2018 Orioles Pet Calendar presented by Pet ER. It's now on sale at Orioles.com/Pet Calendar. You can get it at the ballpark, the official team store, or at Orioles.com/Pet Calendar. The proceeds benefit Barks, the Baltimore Animal Rescue and Care Shelter. Number of players wearing T-shirts for pregame activities, batting practice, etc., that have Barks recognized on it as their favorite charity.
Yeah. I love that last shot of the bird with the little kittens all over.
Great, huh?
That's a riot.
Just before he ate him. And a swinging strike. Jonathan Scope, a base hit, and he is flied out.
Wait a second. I thought the cats are supposed to eat the birds. And that bird says, no, he's on those cats. My goodness.
Keep your enemies close. That's the reason. You get a chance to eat them. And the pitch is taken away for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strikeout on Scope. Jonathan, the base hit, 3rd inning. Hit streak now up to 7 games for the Orioles second baseman. 12 for 28 during the streak. He's had 8 RBIs, scored 6 runs, 1 home run during the 7 games that the streak has extended to, including this one. Rodriguez, a 2-1. One of the things that's happened last night with the Orioles getting 6 runs in the first 3 innings and 5 runs in the second inning tonight, this full house ballpark completely quiet.
Yeah, neutralizing them, you know, and we showed the record here, 40 wins here in their home park, and the fan base a big part of that. This is a hostile crowd. Once they get going, it is tough to win here. And you know, the Orioles talked about it, their success in the past against the Red Sox, especially here at Fenway Park, they're not intimidated. They come in here to play some hard ball, and they've been playing pretty well.
Orioles 3 and 4, both 4 and 3 rather, both here and in Baltimore. Have won 4 and lost 3 against the Red Sox. 3 ball, 2 strike count on Scope. Jonathan trying to keep it alive for Adam Jones. The Orioles are trying to win their 3rd consecutive ball game. Haven't done that since August 5, 6, and 7. And swings through on a heater. So Rodriguez, 6th strikeout, retires the side in order. It remains a 5-0 Oriole lead. Giancarlo Stanton, the long ball in Miami, has driven in 40 runs over his last 30. He ties Nolan Arenado of Colorado for the most RBIs in the span of 30 games this year. Cleveland blanked Kansas City again last night. 4 times this year they've done it. The most shutout wins by any team in a head-to-head matchup this year. And last night in the Oriole Red Sox game, every player, the O's starting lineup, had at least 1 hit and 1 run. And that's the first time the Orioles have done that for the starting lineup, going back to that game in April of '01. So the Red Sox really got blasted last night by everybody in the Orioles lineup.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, that helps a team's confidence when everybody contributes. And Oriole offense really been doing that consistently here recently.
2014 Yankee Stadium was the last time the starters in an Orioles lineup had done that with a hit, at least one hit and one run for everybody. That ball into the gap. Jonathan Scope, no chance to make a throw on it. So with the shift on, Moreland will pick up a leadoff single here in the 5th inning.
Jonathan's had some problems out in that deep shift, especially against Moreland. It seems like every time Moreland puts it in place, hitting it to Jonathan Scope, it's tangled up there. It's in the glove, but on the transfer, quite hang on to it. Showing the range, and there would have been a play right there. Jonathan Scope, one of the strongest arms in the game. He was eyeballing Moreland for that first out. Can't come up with the handle.
So the second hit, just the second hit for the Red Sox, and the first one since Betts in the first inning. And the leadoff man on against Kevin Gausman. Young drew a walk his first time up, playing in left field. Does it make a difference for an infielder to be fielding the ball on the outfield grass rather than coming off the infield dirt?
Yeah, not as far as the bounces go, but psychologically, it's just a completely different look. It's hard. I mean, Jonathan, one of the best at that. He hasn't had a problem in the shift, especially with his depth. But it's a tough play, and I think being an infielder nowadays is hard because your looks are different. It seems like every at bat you're moving around, the shifts. It's doesn't seem like the positions are the same, you know, as far as shortstop, second base, and third base. You're just an infielder, and you better know how to catch the ball on both sides of the field.
Yeah, true. Breaking ball is going to be taken outside. Red Sox have stranded two of the three in scoring position. Kevin Gausman's held them down with 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. Chris Young with the 5 for 17 off Gausman, trying to get an inning started. Kevin's delivery will be popped up out of play back into the seats first base side. Things have equaled out shadow wise. Now with the sun left to center and right field, that's where it's shining now. In fact, Gentry just put his glove up over his eyes in right field. That's where it can be a little troublesome. It's coming right into the eyes of the right fielder at the moment, the sun.
Yeah, as if need to make right field a little bit tougher here at Fenway Park. But there was some sun in there.
Pitch on the way. Almost took the letters off the jersey that time. And the count goes full, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Chris Young with big time numbers against the Orioles, getting brushed back a little bit by a Gausman fastball. 96 up and in. Feel a little bit uncomfortable.
3-2. Moreland not fleet of foot at first base. Will stay. Down to third. That should set up 2. Manny came out of the glove. There's 1. And because it came out of the glove, they won't be able to get 2. The fielder's choice.
I'll tell you, this Fenway Park infield, it's tricky. It's playing really fast right now. A lot of dirt out there. Haven't seen a lot of clean glove to hand transfers there. Manny getting tangled up a little bit. It gives Mr. Young an extra half step. Manny getting to Jonathan Scope as quickly as possible after he finally gets the handle. Just enough for the 1 out.
So Young on at first base, and that will bring up Vasquez. Vasquez, a strikeout victim, his first time up. That heady 284 average. Got some power. And the pitch is taken for a strike. Vasquez has not had a hit off Gausman in 9 at bats. Kevin so far has controlled the Red Sox catcher at the plate. Kevin coming in, second high in hits surrendered in the American League for pitchers. 5th most earned runs allowed. So much of that came in the first half of the year. So much of that has gotten turned around since the All-Star break. As he and Dylan Bundy have started to secure the positions the Orioles hoped they would.
Yeah. Nice to see him finally settle in a little bit more consistently in the second half. In the first half, just a struggle for Gausman.
Pitch on the way will ride up and in. And a 1-ball 2-strike count on Vasquez.
Historically, Kevin Gausman pitches better in the second half of the season, but time to start pulling it all together, right? Can't do anything about the first half now. Just finish as strong as possible. And the fact that he's getting on a nice run really boosted this rotation.
Vasquez will take the pitch away, set him up for an outside pitch after coming in on him. Doesn't get it there, and a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Vasquez hit .227, 57 games for the Red Sox last year. He spent a lot of time at AAA catching. 2-ball, 2-strike delivery to him. Had a reach for it down to third, and that one is going to go foul.
A nice split finger there from Kevin Gausman. With the righties, he's starting to rate on the plate. He's dive bombing down in the middle. Looks like that heater coming in. A lot of soft contact right now on the changeup.
2-ball, 2-strike count. Young back to first base. Vasquez, one of the non-pitchers who went through the Tommy John surgery, missed an entire season in 2015 having had the operation. 2-ball, 2-strike pitch, and he reached and fouls it right straight back. The swings by a number of these Red Sox hitters, who we remind you again were red hot coming into this series offensively, have shown you how effective Kevin Gausman is. They're off balance. They're leaning on the front foot. They're way out in front, or they're looking for the changeup and late on the fastballs.
I'll tell you, he has. I think he's flipped a slider in there right now, working fastball, changeup.
7th pitch of this at bat, 2-2. And a full count, 3-2. Only one away. We'll see if Young takes off.
Got to make a big pitch right here. Don't want this lineup turning over.
Base coach Brian Butterfield the sign over to Young at first, and stepping out will be Vasquez. Orioles getting their 5 runs on 4 hits in the second inning. Trumbo an RBI single, Gentry RBI single, Beckham a 3-run homer. 3-2 runner does not go, and it's fouled back upstairs. So Gausman forced to work a little harder here, even though he retired the side in order in the 4th inning. A couple of deep counts. Now a deep count here, up to 80 pitches thrown. Red Sox the Orioles bullpen rather in good shape in light of Hellickson's performance last night and the day off the day before that. 3-2 runner not going, and another one same place.
Kevin Gausman getting some foul balls on the fastball. All he's got to do is execute. Caleb's still calling for that heater down and away. He's hit it a couple times in this ball game, and just can't even pull the trigger on it. But when the pitch is elevated, they're getting a better look right now, and most of his fastball is leaking back over. Instead of filling up that down and away quadrant. See, just missing.
10th pitch of the at bat, 3-2 again, and a breaking ball inside. So the 3rd walk surrendered by Gausman will put a couple on with only 1 away here in the 5th inning. O's fans, you can follow Masson Orioles on Twitter so you never miss a moment of the action. Follow along for exclusive Masson All Access segments, giveaways, breaking news, and more. That's Masson Orioles on Twitter, and some memes too. Memes? I have no idea, and that's an honest answer. Here's Eduardo Nunez. I've heard of screaming yellow memes, but not just memes. The big at bat, Nunez, and he will take the pitch for a strike. 0-1 count with 1 down. Gausman trying to hold the Red Sox off the board. They left 2 on in the 3rd inning. They've not had a runner to third base in the ball game. That's ground ball. We'll go to second base. Jonathan Scope. Tim Beckham across the bag, and just what the Orioles ordered. They get the double play, no runs on one hit, no errors, and one left on base. Orioles 5, Red Sox nothing.
Go highlights game 2 here at Fenway Park. Orioles looking to do what they did last night, put the 16 spot up. Well, Trumbo getting things going the right way in the second inning. And how about Tim Beckham putting the cherry on top? 3-run shot, 102 miles an hour off the bat, 394 feet away, up into the monster seats. Tim Beckham staying red hot. Kevin Gausman, his fastball there to get Benintendi. How about this one? Dotted down and away, 96 miles an hour to get Hanley Ramirez. 5 punch-outs for Gausman. Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com to see how much you could save. There he is, Swaggy T. That 3-run shot.
Appropriate nickname for the way he's playing.
Oh, my.
So the Orioles will try and add to it as Adam Jones will stand in. Top of the 6th inning. Adam a double, and he is popped out. Adam against the Red Sox came in hitting just .207 on the year, but carries a .276 lifetime average against Boston. It's kind of like Mookie Betts and he had the off years against each other's teams after having exceptional years. Betts against the Orioles and Jones against the Red Sox. This is the off year, at least to this point, for them personally.
Yeah. Kind of inexplicable, too. I think sometimes it's just the own players' head getting in the way, outthinking themselves, thinking that the team's going to do something different after so much success in the past.
1 ball, 1 strike delivery on the way up high. Rodriguez a little more efficient as the game's gone along. That second inning cost him dearly in pitches thrown. Got through the 5th with that 1-2-3 inning. A 2 ball, 1 strike count. And that's going to miss away. So he'll fall behind 3-1. Mancini, Davis, Trumbo, if the Orioles get that far in the lineup, due up.
40 pitches in the second inning. Other than that, though, very efficient in this ball game.
3-1 delivery on the way. Adam goes after it, pounds it towards that well in deep right center field. Playable, Benintendi gets there and hauls it in. It's kind of like entering the Mojave Desert when you go back there. For every Orioles walk, Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield contributes $50 supporting the American Diabetes Association. 321 walks, $16,050. Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield encourages each of us to take that first step towards a healthier and more active lifestyle. One away, bases clear. Trey Mancini, fielder's choice, called out on strikes, has scored a run. Rodriguez working that one down and away. 34 games left to go in the season for the Orioles, including this one. There is no more time. there is today and then tomorrow, and each one of them matters a ton for any playoff hopes.
Yeah, talk about putting the blinders on and turning the page. Forget about what you did. Play some good baseball today.
Foul back and out of play. Tampa Bay and the Orioles tied for third in the American League East. Both are 10 games behind the Red Sox. Yankees have a chance to gain a game today. Yankees got the win 6-3 over Seattle, so if the Orioles can hang on and win, the Yankees would be 3.5 behind Boston. Pitch will be taken up high. 1 ball, 2 strike count on Mancini. Orioles have left only 1 runner on base in this ball game. That was in the 3rd inning. Scope had a leadoff single. They didn't move him around. Otherwise, I've gotten him on, gotten him in. Base hit right by Rodriguez, and Trey Mancini's on with a 1-out single and a 5-game hit streak. Well, when the Orioles score, you score at McDonald's. The more the O's score, the more chicken McNuggets you score. So download McDonald's app today. Hope you had it yesterday when the Orioles got 16 runs.
Goodness. What do you call that?
Call that a year's supply.
A lot of McNuggets.
So Mancini on, and so is the shift. Chris Davis a walk, a run scored, and he is grounded out. Orioles now out hitting the Red Sox 7-2. Pitch on the way. That is going to be taken for a strike.
Rodriguez hitting over that, reaching the 100 pitch mark.
Double play depth. Of course, gets some room in right field as a result. Davis will take it away. A few notes will sprinkle in on that contest last night that the Orioles won 16-3. The combined 8 errors tied the highest error total for the last 10 years in a major league game. Giants and Diamondbacks back in 2012. Pitch on the way, and that'll be taken inside. And a 2-ball, 1 strike count. Red Sox last 2 games, their ERA is 10.06. The opponent batting average 4.32. Cleveland game and last night's game. 2-ball, 1 strike delivery by Rodriguez, and just missed the outside corner. Call that he was after. First action we've seen in the bullpen. Workman up to throw. They don't want to go there any earlier than they have to, but they're almost at half-2 time.
Rodriguez up over 100 pitches in that danger zone.
He's worked up to 117. Did that against the White Sox 5 starts ago. Mancini off first base, 3-1. Chris Davis waiting on it, drills it. It's foul.
Inside changeup right there. A dangerous pitch, especially with that pesky pole on the right field line.
Chris has had on this season some of his best numbers against the Red Sox. He came in hitting .294 against Boston with 3 home runs. He's had 22 career home runs against Boston, 10 hit here at Fenway. Mancini real close to the bag, not going anywhere. Another note on the 18 hits allowed, 18 or more in the Cleveland game and in the game last night against Boston. That's the first time they've had 18 or more hits in back-to-back games since 1936. 7 in this one for the Orioles. Davis will take it. Strikeout number 7 for Rodriguez.
Davis must have been thinking about something else here. Fastball like right down the middle. Yeah. It's a pitch cast. Gut ball. 3-2 count. Davis can't pull the trigger.
So that leaves Mancini at first. 2 down. Here is Mark Trumbo already with a 2 for 2. Mark has had a couple of singles, one in the second inning, getting him an RBI, and he would score. Trumbo will take the pitch up and away. This too has been a real good ballpark for Mark Trumbo. 10 career home runs against Boston, 7 of the 10 hit here at Fenway, and a .274 batting average coming into the game for Trumbo here in Boston. 1-0 count. Trumbo a little nubber, and that's going to be a fair ball. Taken to the bag by Moreland to record the out. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on base. Bottom of the 6th coming up. It's the Orioles 5 and the Red Sox nothing. On Masson, brought to you by the University of Maryland Medical System. Be a part of something greater. And by visitannapolis.org. Create your moment at visitannapolis.org. Fenway Park in Boston, game 2 of the 3-game set. Orioles won the opener last night 16-3, and they lead in this one 5-0. Certainly a note while the games go on, the great damage being done in Texas by Hurricane Harvey, devastating between Corpus Christi and Houston, and they're very fearful about what that death toll is going to be, especially a community of Rockport, which got really stung. We are thinking about them in a very tough time, and the Weather Service says that is a storm that may linger for days.
Yeah.
Dumping 40 inches of rain in some places already.
Can't even imagine that.
No, it's a river. Popped up in the air behind second base, shortstop Beckham. He's got it. Mookie Betts is retired. Betts 1 for 2. The Birds are going to host the Blue Jays, a 4-game series, Thursday, August 31 through Sunday, September 3rd. On Sunday, September 3rd, the first 20,000 fans 15 and over receive an Orioles cap presented by DAP. Plus the kids 4 to 14 run the bases presented by Wise Markets. For tickets, Orioles.com or 888-848-BIRD. Toronto 60-68 coming into today's play. They have beaten Minnesota, so they've added a 61st win. And the Twins, one of those teams ahead of the Orioles in contention for a wild card spot, is lost. Seattle is lost to the Yankees 6-3. So the Orioles hang on and win. They got a chance to gain some ground on a couple of those 6 teams in front of them.
Yeah, Orioles going to, talk about putting the blinders on, just take care of their own business. Can't really be concerned about those teams out in front of them, but you hope somebody beats up on them. Well, they're not paying attention.
Yeah. Taken for a strike. Kevin Gausman 1 and 2. Efficient performance. 89 pitches thrown so far. Working here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. 9 and 9 on the year. 1-2 delivery on the way, and that'll go to third. Worm eater Machado, 2 down.
Nice play there by Manny, taking a couple knocks away from Benintendi going the other way. Gosman only 2 hits given up to this point. These are the type of situations, you know, Red Sox, a couple tough ball games, uncharacteristic this season of this Red Sox team, but when they're down, you got to keep them down. The Orioles advantage right now, but this is a dangerous team at the end of ball games as well, so the Orioles got to stay on top of their business.
Here is Hanley Ramirez, DH, 0 for 2, grounded out, strikeout. Red Sox 3rd in average starting the day, 5th in runs, averaging almost 5 runs a ball game. Last in home runs. They are 5th in walks. That keeps their on base percentage up there, 4th best. The major league pop up right by the mound. Manny wants it. So does Davis. So does Beckham. Davis is taller, and he steps on Beckham's toe. And Beckham leaning down a little bit. Davis steps on your toe, you know it. 1-2-3 inning. This comes from the 538.com. Calling it the Adam Dunn Club, class of 2017. On pace for 25 homers, 70 walks, and 150 or more strikeouts. Right at the top is the rookie, Judge, Paul Goldschmidt, one of the best players in baseball. We were just talking about the fact that completely under the radar. Stanton, Upton, Steven Souza Jr. There are 14 people on this list right now headed for those kinds of numbers. They include Joey Gallo, Miguel Sano, Jake Lamb, Domingo Santana, Chris Davis of Oakland, Eric Thames, Mark Reynolds, Will Myers, and Jose Bautista. All could end up in that category of 25 homers, 70 or more walks, and 150 strikeouts. The idea being that's the new modern day player.
Absolutely is. You know, the production run wise, a home run, instant run on the board, and boy, teams long for that. And you can tell by the WAR numbers. You know, Mike Trout, when he won MVP, his WAR number was just over 9. Okay, and Aaron Judge, those numbers 7.3. That's just the offensive side of it right there. The production he puts up is a pretty impressive number.
Pitch is taken down low. We'll see how many of them at the end of the year actually join that so-called Adam Dunn Club, because Adam Dunn had those kind of numbers when he played. Caleb Joseph leading it off, 7th inning. 5-7-1 for the Orioles, 0-2-0 for the Red Sox. Caleb will foul that one back. Joseph, a couple of strikeouts so far in the ball game. Gentry and then Beckham at the top of the order. Eduardo Rodriguez has gone the distance. So far, a walk and 7 strikeouts for Rodriguez.
Wow, I can't believe he's still out there.
Oh, In the air to right field, down near the pesky pole. Will it have enough in the legs department? No. Mookie Betts puts it away. Bidding for the short porch home run here at Fenway, Caleb Joseph.
All right. J.J. Hardy kind of made that pesky pole pretty popular. He put a couple down that line. They're going to change the name of it.
Pesky Hardy pole.
Yeah.
Gentry, a big RBI in the second inning, and would score a run, hit into a double play his second time up. Rodriguez pitched to him, will be away for a ball. 244 in the year for Craig, getting the start in right field. Rodriguez, the 1-0. He'll miss down low with it. Orioles now with a bench of Ryan Flaherty and Seth Smith today. Wellington Castillo, the backup catcher. Anthony Santander, backup outfielder. Switch hitter, Santander. 2-0 pitch, fouled straight back, trying to drive one right there.
Another fastball, though, with the extra life up through the top of the zone. A number of foul balls on that high fastball.
2-1. Outfield shaded to right. Pitch will be up high. Workman's been the only warm-up action we've seen in the bullpen. Looks like Rodriguez is probably in his last inning here in the 7th, if he can get through it. 3-1 pitch on the way. Broken bat. That one shattered. Got the umpire. Play made by Nunez. Again, the spear that ends up being the barrel of the bat, and it caught the home plate umpire Quinn Walcott.
Yeah, so dangerous. These bats nowadays kind of exploding, breaking into two pieces. Take a look here. Fastball running hard in, and there it goes. Boy, it's home plate umpire hard.
Right on the inside of the leg. Walcott will get a break, though, as John Farrell's out to make a pitching change. A 5-0 lead for the Orioles.
Ball game, a tough second inning where the 5 runs were put on him, but lasting 6 2/3. Really doing well for John Farrell and the Red Sox. 117 pitches thrown, getting deep in this ball game. Now Brandon Workman in 21st appearance out of the Red Sox bullpen. Opponents hitting .255. Lefty's way up to .308. How about that first batter at .300? And Workman part of that mess in Cleveland. He gave up a couple runs.
That one to the gap towards center field. Benintendi over and will make the running catch. Tim Beckham retired on one pitch. 7th inning stretch time at Fenway. The Orioles lead at 5-0. The Hyundai Summer Clearance event is going on now at your Hyundai dealer. Visit buyhyundai.com today. Barry Thorne and Mike Bordick here at Fenway. Beautiful afternoon turning to evening. Kevin Gausman throwing a shutout two-hitter at the moment. Nevers will foul that one away as the Red Sox bat bottom half of the 7th inning. He's 0 for 2. He has popped out, flied out. 294 on the year for their third baseman, getting his first action against the Orioles in his career in this series. Big cut, foul back. And the count will go to 0-2. Bogarts and Moreland due up. Red Sox have lost 2 in a row coming in to this game. Orioles are a +2. And for a big road series win, if they can get this game, they'll guarantee themselves that going into tomorrow. Down the line and fouled off. Wade Miley will mark tomorrow's game against Doug Fister. We'll be on the air at 1 with those extra on Masson. Ball game at 1:30. Wade is 7-10. Fister 3-6.
Nice try. Kevin Gausman pitching very well right now. Nice little sequence going here against Devers. Started him off with a little slider. Get into the count and fastball and a couple change-ups away.
1-2 delivery towards second base. Scope gets in front and records the out. One away here in the 7th. Join the Orioles and the Catholic Relief Services in the fight against hunger on Saturday, September 2 from 10 a.m. to noon at Oriole Park. Through the 25,000 meal challenge, for every 50 cents raised, CRS provides 1 meal to our underfed global neighbors and funds projects that help families support themselves. To register a team or make a donation to the 25,000 meal challenge, go to Orioles.com/CRS. Bogarts has popped out, struck out. Takes the strike. 8 for 31 now against Kevin Gausman. Kevin has worked as many as 8 2/3 innings this year. Just missed a complete game. Davis, another worm eater, will go to the bag himself. And the Red Sox have 2 down. I don't know. Saying to Mike between innings, just watching as a fan, Red Sox got a lot of lackluster movement. Heads are down. There doesn't seem to be much energy at all around the Red Sox team.
I'll tell you what, a couple tough losses will take the wind right out of you. And you kind of wait. I mean, you get beat up a little bit. I'm sure there's a lot of positive talk in the clubhouse, but you're kind of waiting for somebody to take the bull by the horns. Maybe somebody step up there and hit a big 2-run home run or something, ignite and give some more energy back to the team. But it is just not happening right now. And Kevin Gausman, a big reason, shutting them down right now, just limiting them to the 2 hits.
Yeah, I credit both Hellickson and Gausman with the two of these games for being a part of that performance. Only in the ball game last night, 4 hits off Hellickson, 1 off Wright in relief. And the Red Sox here struggle to get hits with only 2 singles, 1 in the 1st inning and 1 in the 5th. And Showalter's Ball Club coming in loaded for bear. There's Hellickson, who got the win in last night's ball game to go 8-7 on the year, 2-2 as an Oriole. Mitch Moreland, the base hit, and he is flied out. Gausman's delivery to the left-hander will be rocketed to right field. Gentry diving, can't get it. Just missed hauling that one in, and Moreland is on.
Boy, I think there was enough space out there for a ball to fit in between Gentry and Jonathan Scope. Scope pulled over in the big shift, way back there. Right field, Gentry coming in, trying to take one away from Moreland right off the end of the glove.
So that will be a base hit, the 3rd hit, all singles for the Red Sox. Moreland gets one with 2 down here in the 7th inning. Chris Young, a walk and a fielder's choice. A couple of hits, 5 at bats in the first 2 games of the series. Moreland held by Davis, and the pitch will be in there for a strike. Defense straight up, and 1 more out to get out of the inning.
Nice first strike right there with a changeup from Kevin Gausman. as he gets more comfortable in the ball game, mix up his secondary pitches to get ahead in counts.
In the dirt, Caleb Joseph makes the block on it. Orioles get some action going in the bullpen for the first time in the ball game.
Red Sox, something that they're looking for some spark, some energy, is the ability to come back in ball games. Something they've done so well all year long. Best run differentials in the game.
Beckham's got it at short. That'll take care of that. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. 7 complete. Orioles after 2 in a row against Boston. One inning. That's what's made the difference in this ball game. The Orioles getting their 5 runs on 4 hits in the 2nd inning. Since then, they have stranded only 2 base runners. And Buck Showalter's ball club just hanging on with it because Gausman surrendered only 3 hits and no runs on the defensive side of it. And the Orioles up 5-0 as we go to the 8th. Manny Machado will lead it off. Manny 0 for 3 in the ball game. 3 for 8 in the first 2 games. Manny will take the pitch. Workman came on, threw 1 pitch and got Beckham on the fly ball out in the 7th inning. So Brandon Workman, the 29-year-old right-hander, remains on for the Red Sox. 0-1 delivery. Machado on a tip right off the end of the bat.
Now Manny Machado, of course, we talked about how he's been heating up, but he has hit in some tough luck. How about 100 hard hit outs to lead Major League Baseball by a huge margin? Take a look at the results of Machado down there. The hard hit balls through July 6, 58.8%. The line drive fly ball ratio.
Ground ball will go to 3rd on the big hop. And Manny is out of there.
And since July 7th with Manny Machado, of course, his numbers have been through the roof. The line drive fly ball ratio up, and there goes the slugging percentage as well. And it isn't just about Manny Machado finding holes. No, he's not hitting the ball as hard, but he's made adjustments through that first week in July that have allowed him to actually make the contact point out in front a little bit more consistent. That's why you're seeing him drive doubles and home runs here the last month and a half or so. 10 home runs in the month of August. He's putting on a show offensively.
And our StatCast brought to you by the Hyundai Summer Clearance event going on now at your Hyundai dealer. Visit buyhyundai.com today. Jonathan Scope fouls off the first pitch. He's 1 for 3. Single gives him a 7-game hit streak and 5 hits in the first 2 games. He's 5 for 8. Scope came in hitting .400 against the Red Sox this year with 3 home runs and 9 RBIs. So Scope putting some numbers on this pitching staff of Boston. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Jones waiting on deck. Pitch to him will be popped up in the air and out of play.
There's just no let up right now in this Oriole lineup. You better be on your game as a pitcher. Keep them off balance. Find ways to keep them off balance. Because 1 through 9 right now, there is danger. And Trumbo's starting to heat up a little bit. Couple hits in last night's ball game. Picked up his 20th home run of the season. Davis has been slowly but surely starting to bring his bat around.
That one hit hard towards the 379 mark. It is way back, and it's gonna be gone. Goodbye home run, Jonathan Scope. Almost the same spot where Chris Davis hit one in the ball game last night. Scope delivers the dinger, and the Orioles increase their lead to 6-0.
And if nothing else, it kind of boosts the little competition that Jonathan Scope and Machado have. 28th home run, tying Machado for the team lead, and that is a big fly straightaway center field off the flagpole out center field.
And for Shandell Monroe, our Maryland lottery contestant of the day, that's another $500. 2 home runs hit by the Orioles, 1 off Rodriguez and now 1 off Workman. And the Orioles 6 runs on 8 hits. Pitch on the way to Adam, outside for a ball. Alexis of Towson drive of the game.
Jonathan Scope, baby, 7-game hit streak now, and it is a blast. Fastball ends up becoming center cut. Vasquez wants it away. And this ball is powdered. Take a look. Boom, up the middle of that flagpole in center field.
That one will be fouled away. The Orioles another multi-homer ball game, and for Jonathan Scope the good news continues. Alexis of Towson drive of the game. The area's #1 volume Lexus dealer, 7 straight years. Come see why at LexusofTowson.com. Scope gets his 4th against the Red Sox this year and his 10th RBI against them. Adam leaning back on that one from Workman and fouls it back into the seats. Now the Red Sox have been out homered here at Fenway Park this year, 66-59. That's almost unheard of. But we were talking about how the slugging percentage and home runs are way down for Boston, and the Orioles adding to their woes in that department with 2 more put up in this ball game. The Orioles, doesn't matter, they've hit their home runs home and road pretty consistently. 2 ball 2 strike count. Adam with a double, first time up, 1 for 3 in the ball game. He is 3 for 8 in the first 2 games. Workman's delivery to him, tailing pitch away, will get him for a strikeout.
Pretty nasty pitch there. Cut fastball. Slider hybrid pitch, stays on the same lateral plane, but 87 miles an hour. Throws it hard. Pushes away from Jones. Take a look at the movement here. Just getting on the side of the baseball. Just riding away. Jones.
Trey Mancini, single, fielder's choice, and a strikeout. Well, we continue to look at the numbers for the Orioles. That's 30 runs in the last 3 games and 73 runs in the last 11. Yikes. 1-0 pitch on the way. Mancini will take the breaking ball outside. Orioles just exploding in the offensive department. 6 runs, 8 hits in this one. Trey Mancini, a 2-0 count. 2 home run hitters together over there, and they're the double play combination for the Orioles. And Beckham and Scope both launching homers. Beckham's good for 3 RBIs in the second. Jonathan the solo shot here in the 8th. 2-1 pitch on the way, and a ground ball up the middle. Bogarts comes across with a running throw and gets the out. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on base. Jonathan Scope recording the 2nd home run of the ball game. Launches this one over the 379 mark in center field. 6-0 Orioles.
Earlier in the game, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. Now Tim Beckham, Swaggy T, doing it on both sides of the baseball. This time the high pop-up off the bat to Bogarts, getting a little traffic congestion down there, but he keeps the focus. Mancini trying to clean him out. Comes down with a big out right there for Swaggy T. A big home run in this ball game. A 3-run shot. Doing it all for the Orioles. Orioles big lead right now, 6-0. So we head into the bottom of the 8th.
Red Sox offense just completely held down by Kevin Gausman. Gausman suffering 2 losses to the Red Sox this year in the 2 starts made. Looking to undo that in this game. Christian Vasquez has drawn a walk and he struck out. Number 9 hitter takes the pitch for a strike. Nunez and then Betts at the top of the order as the Orioles close again on their 2nd win against Boston. A 3-game win streak, series win on the road. All of that can be accomplished today. Off-speed delivery, heading way out in front of that one.
Boy, that is a nice pitch right there from Gausman. A nice call by Caleb Joseph. First pitch slider, get me over slider piece. He has not shown the slider much at all today, but he doubles up with it. And the quality of that 2nd pitch, perfect. Outside corner, diving off the edge.
0-2 will just miss as he went outside with it. The Orioles are looking for their 10th series win on the road. They are 9-13 in series opening wins. Overall, the Orioles have won 5 on the road. 5 series wins on the road. This will be their 6th overall if they can get it. Gets the out there on the ground ball. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Orioles may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles. Red Sox here at home. They are 13-5-4 in series played at Fenway. Nunez top of the order. 0 for 3, popped out, struck out, hit into a double play. He will take the pitch for a ball. Eduardo Nunez, their 2nd baseman, watches one go by outside.
And Nunez putting up some monster numbers since coming over from San Francisco. He had only had 4 home runs in I think 70 games in San Francisco. 6 home runs. He's joining the Red Sox.
Playable by Gentry. He's got it. 2 away in the 8th. Well, commemorate the inaugural Players Weekend that's going on right now this weekend at MLBshop.com. Limited edition Oriole jerseys and tees featuring player pick nicknames. Wear the gear the players are wearing on field this weekend. Available while supplies last at MLBshop.com. Blyer and O'Day. O'Day's been warming up. Richard Blyer just getting up to throw in the bullpen. And the pitch taken for a strike. Mookie Betts a base hit, a walk, and he is popped out. Kevin Gausman under 13 pitches thrown in the ball game. That pitch is going to be in there for a strike. If he can get an out right here, interesting to see whether Buck would leave him in for a complete game shutout chance.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, it just looks like Kevin's getting better and better. Up over 100 pitches. His location has been perfect.
0-2 breaking ball will miss outside. A 1-ball 2-strike count on Mookie Betts. This game the opposite of the other 2 starts. See the pitch count, which pretty darn effective, but for a couple of innings where he went over by a little bit. Down the line, the pesky pole again, and just foul.
Real tardy on that fastball from Kevin Gausman. The reason why he's just featured the changeup so much in this ball game, keeping him in between, off the heater.
Ahead on the count here, 1-2. Delivery will be lined right through the box, right over Kevin's head into center field. So here in the 8th inning, it is a 2-out single. And that is going to be it for the starter.
Yeah, not tardy on this fastball. 97 coming right back at you.
So Kevin could not get through this inning with a 1-2-3, and that's the decision maker for Buck. Couldn't ask for any more out of him. Kevin Gausman will leave with a chance to win his 10th. He shut out the Red Sox on just 4 hits through 7 2/3 innings. Great performance by the Orioles starter.
The ball game, but a gem. This is what the doctor ordered. Nasty changeup featured today by Gausman. Of course, that exploding fastball, 97, 98 miles an hour all afternoon. We scattered 4 hits, all 4 hits, singles for Kevin Gausman. An impressive outing in Hellickson. Back-to-back impressive outings here. 7 2/3. There you see the numbers. 4 hits. 3 walks, 5 punch outs. He did have to work through 117 pitches thrown, but a nice outing. Kevin Gausman, way to the bullpen. Richard Blyer now into the ball game.
Runner at first base, 2 down. Benintendi at the plate. He'll take it away for a ball from Blyer. Benintendi's hit only .213 against the left-handers this year. So that's the matchup that Showalter wanted to get with Betts on at first base. Benintendi down to first, foul.
Take a look at Blyer's numbers. He has been exceptional out of the Orioles bullpen. 42nd appearance, 179 earned run average. Pretty impressive stuff. And Blyer, a great command of the 2-seamer. See that ground ball percentage up to 69%. A lot of ground ball work, works below the knees, and gets nice late action.
Benintendi will foul that one away.
The rest of the numbers here, 86% stranded. That's a real good number for Blyer. And the first batter, just 147. Impressive all the way around.
Benintendi's 0 for 3 in the ball game, 0 for 7 so far in the first 2. For Blyer, this is game number 5 against the Red Sox this year. He's given up only 1 earned run on 8 hits, working 7 2/3 innings against Boston. So he's got a 1.17 ERA against the Red Sox. 2 ball, 2 strike count on Benintendi. Down to first. Great stop. Davis. Gotcha. Davis covering the bag, so came off. The ball was a lean away, and that's exactly what he did. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 left on. The Orioles up 6-0. a 3-game set tomorrow. Coverage on MASN will begin at 1 with those extra presented by Jeep, followed by game coverage 1:30. All the access you need right here on MASN.
Take a look at tomorrow's starters. Wade Miley for the O's. Boy, is he coming off a couple solid starts against the Oakland Athletics, looking for his 8th win and keep it rolling here at Fenway Park. Doug Fister coming off a pretty good start himself. Gave up a home run first inning in his last start, ended up throwing a complete game, so it should be a great matchup tomorrow afternoon. Fernando Abad coming out of the Red Sox bullpen, 37th appearance, 275 earned run average, and the veteran lefty still putting up the good numbers. Fastball working in the low mid-90s, a curveball and change to go along with it. The rest of the numbers there, opponents hitting just 215, and the first batter at 219 this year.
31-year-old will work against the Orioles as we go to the top of the 9th inning. Workman worked an inning in the 3rd. A run, a hit, a home run picked up by Jonathan Scope off Workman. Abad goes against Chris Davis. 21 home runs, 50 RBIs for Chris. He's drawn a walk and scored 0 for 2 officially in the ballgame. Abad's delivery will be fouled off outside of first base. Fernando Abad with Minnesota and Boston last year ended up with a 1-6 overall mark with the 2 teams. Works in middle relief primarily. Has only 1 major league save in his long career, covering some 6 years now. Pitch away will get Chris.
Zoom ball, big fastball. Fastball, breaking ball, heater combination. Upstairs here with 92. And Crush can't get on top of that one.
Abad records a strikeout. 9 strikeouts for the 3 Red Sox pitchers today, but what matters is the 6-0 score on the board for the Orioles. Mark Trumbo. Trumbo will foul that one straight up in the air and back by the screen and over it. Trumbo has had a 1 for 3 against Abad. In this ball game, he's picked up a couple of hits and an RBI and a run scored. So 2 for 3 in the ball game, 4 for 7 in the first 2 games. And of course, home run included that he picked up in the game last night.
Yeah, he went the hard way with the home run. Right field. It gets big out there.
A 1 pitch on the way to him. Ground ball up the middle and another base hit. So a 3-hit ball game. 3 for 4 for Trumbo. Singles here in the 9th inning with 1 out.
Well, that'll help the confidence, get him rolling. More consistency here down the stretch.
Be the 34th multi-hit game and the 5th 3-hit ball game for Mark this year. He's also had 1 4-hit game. Caleb Joseph coming up. Caleb 0 for 3 in the ball game. Abad with a runner on at first and 1 away. Joseph will take the pitch outside for a ball. Red Sox bullpen so lit up in that final game in Cleveland. Overall has the 2nd best ERA in the American League on the year. That's some really solid numbers. But as we showed you, Cleveland last game in Cleveland really heightened a lot of the numbers for the individual pitches, and Abad was one of those. 2 innings Thursday. A couple of hits, 2 strikeouts in the ball game. Fouled off by Caleb out in front of it, 1 and 2.
Another one sending everybody ducking and diving in the Oriole dugout. Chopping in there.
$36,655. 36,655. The announced attendance. Not a sellout here at Fenway for the 4 o'clock Eastern start. 1-2 delivery on the way. There's no particular reason that the game started at 4. The Red Sox haven't. I was talking to their people before the ball game, front office people. They have a few dates where they can start games either at 1 or 4, and they chose this one to just be a 4 o'clock start. 2-2 delivery, swung on and missed, came in with 93.
Letting that fastball loose when he gets ahead. Maybe pitching a little backwards here. Starting him off with the slow stuff, finishing him off with the high cheese. 93 miles an hour from Abad.
So Caleb down on a strikeout, and Abad's got 2 away with Trumbo on at first base. Gentry, a base hit at RBI, hit into a double play. Andy is grounded out. 6-9-1 for the Orioles. 0-4-0 for the Red Sox. Breaking ball taken down low. One-0 pitch off speed at 75, so you got an enormous variation with that 93, 94 mile an hour fastball and the mid-70s off speed pitch.
Now Bud trying to slow the hitters down with the off speed pitches early and then finish them off with that fastball.
Brings the heat, catches the corner. 2-1. Two home runs today. The Orioles have out-homered the Red Sox this year 22-14 in the home run department. And with the 6 runs they have put up today, the Orioles have scored 75 runs. The Red Sox have scored 57. These 2 games really separating the offenses of these 2 teams against one another in the Orioles' favor. That ball to the gap in left center field. Nobody's going to catch it. It'll take a hop. 379 mark. Checking where it is. Trumbo. He's going to come to the plate. The relay throw will come all the way through, but it will not be in time. Heads up base running. Trumbo took a look as he was getting to second to see where that ball was. Sorry, he had plenty of time, and he scores, and it is 7-0.
Nice piece of hitting by Gentry. You know, limited playing time, trying to stay as fresh as possible. Came out early a couple days ago, actually yesterday, with Scott Goulbaugh. That early hitting paying off, driving it to the left center gap. Trumbo on his horse, and getting out there. Benintendi showing the arm a little bit off. So Bobby Dickerson getting Trumbo on the horse. Gentry picking up his 5th double of the year.
So Gentry has a 2 RBI ball game. Nice work by the right fielder to plate in this game, and for Gentry, that's his 4th multi-RBI game of the season, as Mike said, in limited chances. 1-0 count on Tim Beckham, runner on at second base, and the pitch will be taken inside for a ball. Beckham hitting the 3-run homer in the second. Hit streak alive at 5. 1 for 4 in the game, 2 for 10 in the first 2 games against the Red Sox. Gentry will get the big lead at second with 2 away here in the top of the 9th inning. Abad's delivery, and that'll be fouled off. Chopped down on one that was up. 2 ball 1 strike count on Tim. Well, the Orioles setting themselves up for a chance at a sweep in the afternoon game tomorrow against the Red Sox. They've still got to record 3 more outs, but they're in pretty good shape right now. And they have really done a number, holding Boston to 4 hits in this ball game. Breaking ball tapped. Bod's going to have to hurry it. He does, and he will record the out. A run on a couple of hits, no errors, 1 left on base, 3 outs away from the W. We go to the bottom of the 9th for the Orioles. Orioles baseball on Maston is brought to you by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. Orioles on top here at Fenway, 7-0. Looking for a win and maybe a shutout.
So the O's going back to the bullpen. Pull out Odechowski. Oh, wait a second. O'Day into the ball game. 51st appearance, 415 earned run average, couple wins, couple saves. The O's bullpen, 57 punch outs and 47 2/3 innings of work. Only sitting just 200. Righties at 215. Lefties only 172 off O'Day. He's getting up to 7 home runs. First batter at 205.
The Orioles have 7 shutouts to their credit this year. The Red Sox have been shut out 9 times. And the Orioles will try and make it 10. Darren O'Day. Ramirez will take the pitch down low for a ball. Ramirez with an 0 for 3, the DH. Devers and then Bogarts due up here in the bottom of the 9th inning. The Orioles 2 very impressive ball games against the Red Sox. Ramirez will take a strike at the outside corner. Ramirez with a 2 for 6 off Darren and 1 home run. Orioles will improve to 13-10 on the month. Red Sox will go 15-7 in the month of August. 1 ball, 1 strike delivery. Fouled, bounced up, caught him. And the count goes to 1-2. Yankees with a win today will be gain a game on the Red Sox, 3.5 behind for the division lead. Darren O'Day 1-2. And the pitch taken outside.
Nice try there. Ramirez still staying pretty quiet, which is a good sign for the Orioles.
We want all of Darren's nieces, nephews, friends, fans to know, yes, indeed, when the Odechowski section of the O'Day family says we have a player in the major leagues, they aren't kidding. Another worm eater to short. Beckham's got it. Odechowski gets the ground ball in the out, and Ramirez is retired. Take a look at our Coons.com league leaderboard. When you're talking cars, you're talking Coons.
Bullpen earned run average. Of course, the Oriole bullpen has been a staple for them the past 6 seasons, and once again, they're helping this team have success. 3.83 earned run average, and that is one of the best bullpens in the game. Indians leading the way. There's the Red Sox up there at 3-1-3. But the Oriole bullpen, some save a lot of tough starts from the Oriole starters this year.
One away, nobody on. Rafael Devers has taken an 0 for 3 in this one, a 1 for 7 in the first 2 games. He'll take the pitch outside for a ball. With a victory here, the Orioles will have a chance for a 3-game sweep. Last time the Orioles swept 3 in Boston, you got to go back to September of 2014. The last 3-game sweep here at Fenway against the Red Sox. 1 ball, 1 strike delivery. That's going to miss inside. 2 ball, 1 strike count. Bogarts waiting on deck. Orioles will have a 3-game win streak when this one is over. Red Sox will have a 3-game losing streak. 2 ball, 1 strike count. And that's going to miss outside. So 3-1. We're in the 9th. Orioles got 5 runs in the 2nd inning. A Jonathan Scope home run in the 8th. An RBI double by Gentry in the 9th. Counting for their 7 runs and another double-digit hit day. 10 hits in the ball game. Strike taken.
Nice little backdoor slider there from O'Day. Missed a couple times in this at bat. Setting him up with that fastball in. Showing a good command there.
3-ball, 2-strike delivery, and he got him. At the falling behind, O'Day comes back and gets the strikeout. And the Orioles one more out, and the victory is theirs.
A couple nice pitches to finish him off. Backdoor slider, then up and in cheese. The hole up there, and the Orioles have been targeting it here in the first couple ball games, and Devers continue to swing through them.
2 down. Bogart's coming up. 1 for 13 lifetime off Darren O'Day. 2 away here in the 9th inning. Outside for a ball. The Orioles again will have a chance to get back to 500. They'll be 64 and 65 going into tomorrow's game. This will be their 9th win against the Red Sox this year, 9 and 6 in the season series. 1-0 delivery. Strike on the outside corner at the knees. A little late call. Quinn Walcott questioned by Bogarts.
Tough pitch. Nasty slider from O'Day.
O'Day's 1-1 delivery to him, and that one will be outside. Red Sox had not lost consecutive ball games since July 25 coming into this series. That has already happened, and now they're going to go into a 3-game losing streak with a loss in this Saturday game. 2-1 pitch by O'Day. Again, he'll go to a 3-1 count. Kevin Gausman will get a W. He'll be 10 and 9. Rodriguez will take the loss. He will be 4 and 4. 3-1 pitch. Strike on the outside corner. Again, obviously unhappy. He was headed to first base. A lot of frustration. Saw it last night when Benedetti ended the ball game. Walked off angrily on the field. I mean, the Red Sox aren't doing much that's working for them right now.
The past 3 games, that's for sure, for as hot as they've been playing.
And he will get the walk. So Bogarts will get a walk. 2 down in the 9th. Only the 4th walk picked up by the Red Sox in the ballgame. Keith Moreland will get an opportunity. Moreland coming up. A couple of hits, 2 singles. He is 2 for 3. Orioles moving into the shift as O'Day turns around to watch the infield moving over. Moreland will take the pitch inside for a ball. Moreland has faced Aaron only a couple of times, 0 for 2. Scope way out in right field again. Fully expecting the ball come to him. He got around on that one. Foul ball down the line.
Rushing him out of there. Up and in fastball. Good bat speed, but just a long strike. O'Day's fine with that. The Orioles kind of proving how important the starting pitching is. Strong performances here recently, and this Oriole offense, the way it's going, they are tough.
1 ball, 1 strike count.
I don't know if it's as good as the Orioles have been playing, or just the fact that the Red Sox are really flat right now. But better team here than the Orioles, obviously, the last couple of days. The numbers they're putting up.
1-1 delivery, a broken bat. Beckham is there, and that's the ball game, and the Orioles have won the first 2 in this series. So they get a shutout. The last one was August 2 against Kansas City. 8 shutouts for the Orioles on the season, and for the 10th time this year, Boston is shut out. The Orioles come away with a 7-0 win and a chance for a sweep of the 3-game set tomorrow. Wade Miley will be on the mound against Doug Fister tomorrow afternoon. Coverage on MASN will begin at 1 with those extra presented by Jeep, followed by our game coverage at 1:30. This has been a MASN presentation. Tom and Rick standing by a look back. One big offensive inning. It's what the Orioles needed, and the pitchers, Gosman in particular, put the rest of it away. For Mike Bordick and all of our crew here in Boston, I'm Gary Thorne. Have a great rest of Saturday night. Adieu, adieu.